Tina Turner, the legendary rock and roll singer and performer, has died at the age of 83 after a long illness in her home near Zurich, Switzerland. Turner, born Anna Mae Bullock in 1939, was the daughter of sharecroppers in rural Tennessee before she became the queen of rock and roll, and even taught Mick Jagger how to dance. After years of performances across the South, she eventually rose to the highest levels of rock stardom. First as the electric frontwoman of the Ike and Tina Turner Revue with her ex-husband Ike, but she also had massive success on her own with a slew of hits, including Private Dancer, The Best, and of course, What's Love Got to Do with It?
James just said that he was considering retirement.
Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
After the Los Angeles Lakers got swept in the Western Conference Finals, LeBron James said that he was considering retirement. Now, why would LeBron James say this? After all, he said that he wanted to play with his son Bronny. Is LeBron going to take a one-year break, retire, and then come out of retirement to play with Bronny? Or is this a leverage play? Los Angeles Lakers have very big decisions to make, and his former teammate Kyrie Irving, a player that LeBron James has wanted on the roster for the longest time, is also a free agent. Is this LeBron James telling the Los Angeles Lakers to build a contender around him, otherwise he retires? Or do you think LeBron James was just tired after playing for 48 minutes straight? Either way, this is insane.
Facebook, what's going on? What's going on, man? We're gonna keep with the news, man. We got some breaking news that's been released as well about Fetty Wap. Let's check it out.
Fetty Wap was just sentenced to serve 6 years in federal prison for trafficking narcotics. He has been in custody since his bail was revoked in August after prosecutors said he flashed a gun on FaceTime and threatened to kill someone. Fetty pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute 500 grams or more of cocaine. Prosecutors said he had a lucrative career as a rap artist and the ability to make an honest living and provide for himself and his family. Nevertheless, this defendant chose to supplement his income by trafficking large quantities of drugs he knew would ruin lives. Fetty Wap admitted to prosecutors that he had dealt drugs previously in 2014, and that his hit song Trap Queen was an ode to his girlfriend who helped him sell cocaine in New Jersey.
Facebook, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? We had to get the news in there, man. We want to send out, say a RIP to Tina Turner. Man, I grew up listening to Tina Turner. She left a over $250 million empire behind, after her death. And I believe that her remaining children or the estate, whoever is handling the estate, is going to handle that. Man, so it's been, a legend that passed away that started with the Ike and Tina Turner Revue. Man, that was just something that was a beautiful thing, man, just to see Tina Turner. I grew up on Private Dancer. What's Love Got to Do with It? And then Angela Bassett emoted into Tina Turner. And that was the thing that I can watch that movie forever, anytime. And it's like I watched it for the first time, looking at Tina Turner, man. So we want to rest in peace and send our condolences to the family, man, because Tina Turner is indeed a legend, man. And also we was dealing with old LeBron James. Of course, they got eliminated from the NBA playoffs, the NBA finals. The Nuggets, I'm gonna admit to you, I thought they was gonna sweep the Nuggets, but it was the other way around, and I never saw that happen in a long time that somebody gets swept. And it was hints of him retiring. Me and Black will get into it, man, and we're gonna talk about that as well. We looking at also, man, Fetty Wap 6. We know him from Trap Queen and other songs. And he got sentenced to 6 years in prison, man. drug distribution, man, cocaine. He got his back on the wall. You know, when you're famous and you live that lifestyle, man, a lot of artists say, man, that they don't think that the money ever run out, but they don't learn to plan for the future, or the people around them. A lot of times the people around them, like Chamillionaire said, Chamillionaire was a rapper that was from Houston, Texas. And that's the guy, he got there rolling, they hating, catch me riding dirty. So he got out the music business and he's in the tech business. And Chamillionaire tripled and doubled his wealth. He said that, man, what he did, he was talking with someone on a label. I think it was Nelly. Nelly told him to get an audit on his books. So what Chamillionaire did, he hired Jay-Z's attorney. And come to find out, as he did the audit, it was a $600,000 that they hid from him. And he had to, he managed to recover it. And the label wasn't going to let him go. But he told him, if you don't let me go, I'm going to let everybody know, all the artists know how to do an audit. So I said that to say that, Fetty Wap, man, he went through, the preparation of what happened. He was trying to keep up that lifestyle and try to support people, support his family, man. And he got caught up, on a 6-year sentence. And,
but they say
on his record.
He got like that because of the pandemic. He was balling.
Anyway, he wasn't prepared. So that's
the only reason he resorted back to drugs was the pandemic was hitting him hard.
But there's other artists that managed to survive through that. So but
they probably didn't have Fetty Wap hits he wasn't constantly putting out music. He was touring every blue moon, but he wasn't constantly putting out CDs, the MP3s, like a lot of the artists that survived through that. And then again, though they survived through it, he was trying to maintain a certain lifestyle. Right. When you get caught up like that, it ain't too much you can do.
Right. Hold on for a second, but I gotta take care of something real quick at the door.
And he ran through the Tina Turner thing, but a lot of Tina Turner influenced a lot of artists, such as Beyonce. I saw Miley Cyrus, bunch of different people that was checking out the vibe of Tina Turner and was influenced by Tina Turner. And that was an untimely death.
Sorry about that. That was the car man getting my.
I was just talking about Tina Turner and how many artists she influenced.
Yeah, she wrote for Little Richard.
Little Richard, Beyonce. Yeah, I was on the satellite. They got a station that they dedicated now to Tina Turner, and they're playing all her music.
Yeah, and
you would be amazed at the samples
that they're
using that came from her music. I didn't know Beyonce. It's just a lot of songs that I didn't know that was influenced by Tina Turner. But she was the reason that she was a high profile. And what's love got to do with it? The movie, the streams have went up so high on the movie now. Everybody started back tuning in to the movie. But I didn't get into Tina Turner, I guess, until the What's Love Got to Do with it.
Right.
My mom was into Tina Turner. And I think maybe then I saw a couple videos back then. And she always wore now I was managed. So she wore the mini skirts, and you would see them mini skirts with those legs and them calf muscles.
Yeah,
and that's what had me.
Tina Turner was a nice looking woman.
Yeah. That
So she was nice looking.
That's why I checked her out because of her style and what she wore on stage.
Right.
And that's what made me kind of get into it because of her fashion. And you know, I was mannish and she was fine. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I like that lady. And then I actually got into her music when What's Love Got to Do with It, the single blew up, and then she followed that with Private Dancer. I dance for money, do what you want me to do. And it's a rap song that say that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she influenced a whole lot. Then that We Don't Need Another Hero song. For the soundtrack, the Thunderdome or something.
Mad Max Beyond.
Mad Max, yeah. She was on top, and she had some newer music that was out that I'm seeing on the satellite. But yeah, that was an untimely death, man. But she lived her life, and like she said, she was ready to go. She was right with her creator, so she was like, "Hey," because the husband offered to give her a kidney. And she was like, "Hey, you young, you still living your life. I'm good." So she refused the kidney from the husband.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was right with her maker, and you know, everything's good. And then I found out, you know, her son died in December of 22. Right. So the two sons of hers, both of them died. One died from suicide, and the other one died, I think, from cancer.
Right.
And so so she lived hers, and she was kind of ready to go. So she was good.
Yeah. I was into her when she did Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. We used to watch her in Milwaukee when they started.
Oh yeah.
When they started the videos, and she came in the tune of Duran. She came in that vein. Duran. This was Michael Jackson was popping. He was the king of that. But that Private Dancer, in the way, the aesthetics of the videos, how it was a moody type of classic, type of ballroom type of feel in the videos at that time. When you had Stevie Nicks and you had different artists with that moody type of video type feel. And, you know, she did her thing. You know, she was doing her thing. And when Love Got to Do with It broke out, it was a movie, man. I can look at it, and it's like I'm looking at it for the first time. That and Boomerang are two movies that I can look at like I'm looking at it for the first time. So
she even performed Prince. She performed Prince, Let's Pretend We're Married. She worked that in one of her normal performances, and she did a good job. And as I listen to her music, a lot of her music sound like Prince. So I'm like, maybe he got some of his inspiration from her. So I'm gonna get her discography, and I'm gonna go back and really listen to her. And I hate that when an artist passes, when we get deep into them. But I really got to go check out. I just know Moms was crazy about her and all of that.
Tina Turner voice was iconic. It was a grimy when you heard her do Nutbush and that song.
Man, look.
They
played that original song on the satellite last night, and I wanted to get out the car, but I couldn't. Yeah, and when she that rolling, you know, and all that, I was checking out, and I keep remembering the theme from the movie when she rolling on the river, and then they switched that beat up, and then she said the same lyrics over, but to a rock and roll type. Man, man, it was like, yeah. So I you know. We're born to die. So
right.
When you live your life and you're in your 70s and, you know, bench pressing 80, you done did your thing. So, you know what I'm saying? It's different than somebody being 40 and 50 and they drop dead from a heart attack or drug overdose. When you done lived your life, she had kidney failure and heart problems, you know, and things like that. So, you know, 78, how old was she? 78?
I believe so.
So you know, you kind of lived your life, so you know that's more acceptable than somebody young jumping around here, you know, or Jamie Foxx, if he was to pass, we'd be like, oh, wow, because, you know, he still considered young.
Right.
And, yeah, then you played the Fetty Wap. Okay, yeah, he got caught up. And then normally we'll be doing the NBA, but I'm going to watch the NBA after game 2. I'm going to watch game 3. I'm going to watch the highlights of game 1 and 2. Then I'm going to jump into the actual game 3. That's when it really gets exciting to me, being that none of my teams are in there. So I'm going to I'm going to watch the highlights tonight, and I'm going to watch the highlights the next game. And then game 3, if it's on a Thursday, I'm probably going to do a replay or rerun. But yeah. And speaking of NBA, the King James, they say he's thinking about retiring. So for more on that, let's run the video.
All right.
James just said that he was considering retirement.
Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
After the Los Angeles Lakers got swept in the Western Conference Finals, LeBron James said that he was considering retirement. Now, why would LeBron James say this? After all, he said that he wanted to play with his son Bronny. Is LeBron going to take a 1-year break, retire, and then come out of retirement to play with Bronny? Or is this a leverage play? Los Angeles Lakers have very big decisions to make, and his former teammate Kyrie Irving, a player that LeBron James has wanted on the roster for the longest time, is also a free agent. Is this LeBron James telling the Los Angeles Lakers to build a contender around him, otherwise he retires? Or do you think LeBron James was just tired after playing for 48 minutes straight? Either way, this is insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So the deal is with that, I don't think he need to retire. I've seen a lot of players call themselves retiring and coming back, and they're rusty. Their play is not what it do. So if he's trying to wait on Bronny to come into the league, he need to continue to play and continue to put up the numbers. So when Bronny do come in, he's just not on the court making 20-some points a game. He needs to stay in the game of basketball till his son gets there. So I don't see a retirement. If he's smart, he won't retire.
Right. But don't you think his game being affected the older he get? Or do we really need a team around him that can help?
I mean, yeah. They need to build a team around him, of course. And that's why he's going to get Kyrie. So I say during the offseason.
So you think they're going to get Kyrie?
They get Kyrie and they build a team. You know, he built his own team. Kobe and Jordan didn't get to build their team. He gets to build his.
Right.
So I think being that he has that much power and he's the greatest in the NBA right now, hands down. No one touching him on the court. And you know, he's the new generation, which he's the current generation. The new generation is much bigger, stronger, faster. His son, when you actually watch the highlights of Bronny James, he's bad. Yeah, I agree. Mentally tired. That's why they say we need to build a team around LeBron James, because he's not able to carry that load. The man 38 years old.
Yeah,
so he's bench pressing 40 years old. But even though age don't really, when you work out and you physically fit, age don't play, but age can play also. And like she said, even though he's physically fit, he may be mentally tired. You know what I'm saying? Because he did make a lot of bad decisions in the this last playoff that they were in. And I tell people, I tell people from the work that I do, a mental tire outweigh a physical tire any day. Because when your brain shut down, everything shuts down. Where if I'm just tired from working out, picking up boxes and loading trucks, my muscles tired. You know what I'm saying? My body tired. But when that brain is tired, it's a totally different tire. So he don't need to retire at all. That would be the biggest mistake he made, because when you're at the top of your game, you need to stay at the top of your game. When you go out, stay out. Brady made that mistake. Tom Brady. Jordan definitely made that mistake coming back for the damn Wizards. He should have just retired at the top of his goddamn game and left it alone. Didn't Brett Favre retire, tried to come back, and came back out? Yeah, so retiring and coming back into a sport that's that fast paced, where you have to be fit and athletic, is not the thing to do. So, yeah, he needs to stay in there, wait on his son. And I would play with my son 2 years. And so whether that means he need to hire him a trainer, he need to get his wind up, I would do 2 years with the son. And within those 2 years, I have to come out with a championship. He need to dedicate 3 more years to the NBA. So he'll retire at 41. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pushing it. But if I was LeBron, that's what I would be doing. It can be done. Look at Brady. Brady, 40-something years old, is still slinging that rock better than a 20-year-old. So even though his game kind of fell off this year, Brady really needs to retire. You know, he really needs to retire.
He did his time. He did
his.
Yeah. So he good.
If Brady retire, I'll just hats off. You did your thing. You know, you the GOAT. But LeBron James is in that category. LeBron James is the Tom Brady of the NBA.
Right.
And so, yeah, he need to keep playing.
Right.
And so we got that. Now, what time is it? Okay, I guess we'll get into the topic, right? Well, hold up. Breaking news came in today. Unfortunately, we lost Jackie O. And run that video.
Gotcha.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
It is. And he literally loved her with all the heart. They met in 2015. And on the set of Wild 'N Out. And they've been together ever since. So that's what? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 8 years.
Yeah.
Of being together.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
man, and you remember he came to our party. I didn't know who he was.
He came to one of our parties and he inboxed me. And I was arrogant and stuck on myself at the time.
Yeah.
She didn't know who she is. Okay, yeah, she's an actor, model. She be on the Wild 'N Out. Jackie O. She was his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Baby mama.
They got 3 children together, don't they?
3 children together.
Yeah, 3 children.
And that it was tragic.
Yeah,
and I just hated to see that. But the problem is
the BBLs, all that stuff. She was doing mommy, whatever the mommy thing she was doing.
They go out of their way. And then, like I say, I blame social media. Good old social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media make y'all women that's beautiful feel like you're ugly, feel like you need work.
Right.
Learn to be happy in the skin you're in. That's why I support people like India Arie and the women like that. They learn to be happy in the skin they're in. It's bad enough that Cosmopolitan magazine had women getting sick, being bulimia, whatever they call it, when they eat and go in the bathroom and throw up. Had our black women doing that to be thin and look like those women.
Right.
The reason that they get the straight hair, the reason that the black women want the straight and long wigs where they wear the weave down to their ass, is what social media or the media period pushes out there. And it's their definition of what you should look like to be accepted and considered beautiful. My thing is, when you look at Jackie O, when you look at her,
Yeah.
okay, so what? She didn't have and she had looked like she had body work done. So so what if she didn't have huge boobs? So what if she didn't have the hips and the big butt? You know what I'm saying? That she went to get done. You know what I'm saying? Because on some of those photos you'll see she was kind of slim when it came to the hips and the butt department. So she went to go get the mummy makeover and did that surgery and trying to get a BBW, whatever the hell y'all women doing today.
Yeah, Trinket she had a mommy makeover. That's what she had.
Where they get the body perfect, you know.
Yeah.
And she didn't shake back.
Right.
And a lot of them are going under trying to get this procedure done. And with the anesthesia or whatever they're using today, a lot of them not coming back. They not waking up.
Right.
Charles Lee Thaxton. Yeah, we probably need to get him on about that marriage thing, man, because it's crazy out there. When we get on the topic, man, if you want to do that, speak on that, the divorce rate and everything that's going on with these women today, man, feel free to pop on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just hate social media make our beautiful black women feel like they're nothing.
Right.
I
has
hate
always done that.
I mean, just like I said the other week.
Yeah.
That pretty YouTuber and TikToker, the youngsters told her that she was approaching 30, that she was too old to be doing what she was doing, and she jumped out a window in New York and killed herself. It's social media, man. It's a gift and a curse at the same time, and I just hate that our black women are under attack like that when it comes to that. Now we have some rotten, black women out there that's getting into that. Man got to be 6'2". He got to make 6 figures a year. He got to have at least 6 inches. But I'm like, hell, if he ain't got 6 inches, you don't need to be with it though. But anyway, but but some say it ain't the size of the boat is the motion in the ocean. But I never, had to deal with that. But yeah, it's a social media thing, because she wasn't bad looking.
No, not at all.
Her shape wasn't terrible from what I see. And
but that decline that can decline over time anyway, man. That exterior can decline over time anyway, man. I want to add in, because you said something about that, about our women in the imagery and what they've gone through mentally from this society. Nina Simone, all of us know Nina Simone. You don't know Nina Simone?
I mean, make me know
it. Jay-Z did Still Nigga. He sampled her music in Still Nigga. Well,
what about her?
She's a singer-songwriter. She's very, very famous. And she said that they would tell her, because she wanted to be a classic pianist, and she had the ability to be a classic pianist, but they denied her because of her skin color into the school, and the route that she took is made her who she was. Gigantic in all rights, in let me see. It's a song that you know, and she talk about, oh, young, gifted, and black. You heard that song?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, that's she put that song together. But and she was promoting, you know, just socially. So, and you can see through time how Black women have been put on display, and they think, you know, some people think that me and you hate Black women, and that's just not the case. We understand what have happened to us because we live in the experience of being at the cusp and at the beginning of how society and music and hip hop and music then turn our women to something else.
Social media.
So they even got a clip of a young girl, young female. She in the mall. She got a dress on, and she walking through the mall. She don't got no panties on, and she sat there. Somebody passed her. She sat there and gapped her legs wide open, and you can see all her private area. To asking the man, you want to look some more? You can look some more. No shame in her that she would just walk with no underwear on, but she got a dress on, and you have no shame, no fear of somebody attacking you or hurting you. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have no shame within yourself.
On the cool. Now, not at the mall, but I know a female that used to do stuff like that. She wouldn't be at a mall, but we'll be at like a little private house party gathering or something. She'll have on a mini skirt. And, you know, she would flash a little bit to show people she didn't have no underwear on because, you know, Black people wasn't really known for not wearing underwear. Then women gonna have on some stockings or something. And she was one of the first ones. We were in high school, actually. She was one of the first ones we ever seen. She had on a goddamn blue jean miniskirt. I remember like it was yesterday.
I'm a call Cap, bro.
She had on blue jean miniskirt.
Where you get that from, man?
And she actually was dating one of my partners, Techno. She was dating him for a brief second.
Man,
but we was at this house party, and she flashed us one time.
No, man, that's not.
So we was like, damn, she ain't got on no damn underwear, you know. But she was amongst the peers, so everybody respected what she had going on. You know.
Man, get out of here with that, bro. Get out of here with that, bro. Bro, that's not. You got every human beings by nature got natural shame. They not gonna walk out in public, bro, with no underwear on, bro. That's just not gonna happen.
Baby, white people been doing that for years.
That's white people. That's white folks. White folks.
But like I say, this girl was Black and she was at a house party and she didn't have on no underwear.
That's not natural not to have shame.
Hey, she was freaky though. She was going through her freaky stage. And I'm thinking one day she was at school.
That's not natural, bro. That's not natural.
She did that one day at school while we were in class. So, you know, that's hey. And she'll probably see this because, you know, she and I friends. She'll see this. She'll know. She's like, he talk about me. But yeah, she used to flash us, man. And like I said, I think my boy Nard ended up getting with her. I didn't, you know, me and her didn't click like that. So I think my partner Nard ended up
walking in the mall. No, bro, you just don't see that on an everyday basis, man. People doing that. So, you know, people don't do that. They're just not in people's psyche. In your right mind, you would not do that.
No, you can't say that, baby. She was going through her little freaky. She was going through her freaky stage, man.
You can be freaky all you want to. It's a place time for that.
As an initiation at ULM campus, I ran.
That's an initiation. That means if it's an initiation, that's something that you don't do out of the norm. When you get an initiation,
we were bored. I ran from,
but that's not something that's
I
not
ran from Olin Hall to Master Hall and back, butt ass naked as a jaybird.
That's
at 12 o'clock midnight.
And that's not natural to do that though. That's why it's an initiation. Because that's not in the norm. That's not natural.
I mean, when you want to do something exciting and something different,
ain't exciting.
That was exciting to me. To me, and then and she feeling sexy and freaky that particular night, and she just came around us with no drawers on, with a miniskirt. And even me talking about it, you probably got a little wood over there. But I'm just saying.
I'm gonna park that. But now I'm gonna park that because you going.
Yeah, but that's how it went down.
You going somewhere else with that, and I was telling you about the girl with the clip. So
yeah, I was just saying that black women do it too. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day,
she was black. The girl.
No, that's why I say back in the day they also done that. When we were in school, a girl did it while we were in high school.
Oh,
black
so
girl.
Y'all was in high school.
Yeah, black girl did.
Oh, so she did it in public.
She wore no drawers in
Did she do it
at school?
Okay.
And then she did it at a house party.
So all the students knew this.
The one she wanted to flash.
Okay, the ones I'm talking about, the students. You walking in public, you walking in school with that with nothing on.
She was in school. She had on a miniskirt.
She had a miniskirt on. So
and she'll go. Which the one she wanted, look, she go. Pss, pss.
Yeah.
Then I look back.
But we talking about this.
I look back. She'll open her leg up.
No,
then she'll close it.
This woman was walking through the mall like that.
I mean, they on a different level today.
Yeah.
But I would just let you know that they do that. They have done that back in the Gap too. Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, they a lot of people go through their freaky stage, and especially a woman. And you'll be surprised of what a woman will do. Like, we used to have a girl that would walk around school with tight shirts on, black girl, tight shirts on, showing her nipples.
Oh, they do that every day.
You know,
that's a normal thing. That ain't nothing.
So that's a normal thing now. But back in the Gap, you had to have on some type of bra to hide them nipples.
So you feel that walking around naked gonna be a thing in the future? Oh
man, it's already a thing because social media made it that way. In order for a woman to feel sexy today, they've got to show some type of cleavage. They're going to have a split going up to their waist. They got to show something to feel sexy. And if you say you don't like them wearing that, they ain't going to be no nun. So they have to show something because that's where...
It ain't even about being a nun. It's about having some level of dignity. It's about having some level of
the level of dignity is a different level now. Just like
dignity,
just like with grade. Let me explain it to you.
It ain't no degrees of dignity.
Yes, it is. Let me explain it to you. Back in the day, the grading scale was different.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it was 100 to 96 was an A. 95 to 80 was a B. 80 to 79? 80 to
70. 88.
No. Hold up. No. It was
96.
90. It was 100 to 96 a A. 95 to 90 was a B. 89 to 80 was a C. 79 to 75 was a D. And everything else was an E or F or whatever you want to call it. Now, today the grading scale is different. When I look at the kids' report card today, 100 to 90 is an A.
100 to 90 is an A.
89 to 80 is a C. 79 to 70 is a D. I mean a B. 79 to 70 is a C, I think.
A C, okay.
Yeah, so it's crazy. They like giving them whole 10 points, and that's why the kids are not as bright as the kids overseas and we were coming up.
Right. Because they made
just like the grading scale change. The things that hearing teens get shot was a big shocking thing in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, early 2000s. But now a teen gets shot, it's just another body gone. Boom. Okay, damn. Okay. But back in the day, it was ooh, and the whole town be silenced for about 2-3 weeks. Now you get 2 days of that shit. And then they go to the trail ride. Child get murdered on a Wednesday. They have the trail ride Friday and Saturday. So it's like they get immune to that. They get desensitized. And that's the same thing going on with sexuality and with dignity and with the respect thing. Respect is respect, dignity is dignity, but it's on a different level now. So they'll say, long as my ass ain't all the way out, I'm sexy. So you got to show some type of cleavage. You got to have your split all the way showing your thigh, as long as they not showing their ass per se. So a woman feel like sexiness is showing a little cleavage like Dolly Parton, and they'll wear a split all the way up to they waist. Long as they not showing the pubic hairs of the cat area, that's considered sexy.
Who they being sexy for?
A lot of them try to save themselves.
Well, I mean,
being
sexy for
being
yourself?
a woman to dress for themselves, and then a woman dress for other women to show them other women that I'm coming with it too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then some of them say that shit, but they really advertising in hopes that other men will see them because they're not happy with the man they with. But that's a whole nother topic. But it's several definitions, and it's whichever one she sells to the man. If if she's in a relationship, it's whichever one she sells to him that he buys. But a lot of them will say, I dress for me. I don't dress for nobody but me. You know what I'm saying? But they say that. Yeah. But just like I say, the majority of the women that takes pictures 24/7, they have some type of insecurity within themselves.
Right.
I don't care what you say. It's something that she has some type of insecurity going on. Whether it's mental health, I don't know, because everybody try to blame it on mental health. Every time, you say something about how a woman dress or how her behavior is, you don't know what's going on with her. It could be mental health. Everybody want to run to the mental health and get mad when a man speak out. The deal is this, though, ladies. The deal is this. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let you have the floor. The deal is this, ladies. I don't really care what the hell y'all wear, because I don't have to deal with it. But when we speak on it, it's because we trying to let you know that you don't have to do that. You can still be sexy and still dress respectable. And that's all I'm saying. You don't have to, and why you worrying about it? That ain't none of your business. The deal is this. We ain't worried about it. But the deal is this. We want to at least put it out there for the ones who don't dress like that, so they'll still feel like it's okay. It's okay. Because you ain't showing your ass, because you ain't showing your titties, because you ain't on Facebook, social media, your Instagram, bending over. Every time I go to a goddamn story on Facebook,
they doing the same thing.
Girl bending her ass over, shaking her ass. And if she ain't bending it over, shaking her ass, she on the side, looking in the mirror, making her ass jump, or she making it clap, and all that bullshit. And it's like, I speak out for the women that don't do that. It's okay to not do that. It's okay to be considered square amongst the lost generation, the canceled generation.
But they don't understand. They don't understand on their own, man. A lot of people they are, man, people are committing suicide because of loneliness. They're committing suicide because they're not being accepted. The young people are doing this because they want to feel accepted. They want to feel like they belong. They're not understanding because they're young. They're not understanding the long-term consequences that the choices they're making now got some long-term consequences. We talked about the OnlyFans. We talked about multiple partners. We talked about.
Well, I guess you'd have been a woman then.
We talked about multiple partners and all of that.
But you'd have been a woman.
Now she was talking to you.
No, I'm asking you. Let me address it. Then I'm gonna ask you. It ain't the fact that I've been a woman, but I've been around enough women. I was raised by a woman. Got my game from a woman, and my mom been dressed like that. But she didn't allow my sister to dress like that. It was a certain level of respect that came with that. So you don't have to be a woman, just like a woman don't have to be a man to know when a man is being abusive, to know when a man is being controlling, to know when a man is being an asshole. She don't have to be a man to know that a man has been an asshole. An asshole is an asshole. So a provocative dress is just what it is. If you showing me everything, especially if you got a man, but if you showing me your titties, your ass, I'm able to see your pubic hairs, your camel toe, I'm seeing everything about you without being with you. And a man of value, which I am, I'm not interested in you. And if I'm back in the gap when I used to drink and get drunk and do all what I do, you would be somebody I would just screw that night. Wouldn't even know your name. Wake up the next day, look at you and be like, damn, and get dressed and shit, block you from my phone. Real nigga shit, because you advertised that and we did that. So you get appreciated by what you put out, how you present yourself. So that's all we're saying. Wear what you want, because I don't have to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? You just not gonna be part of my life. But do your thing. You raised by a man. And if he was a respectable man, he wasn't gonna have you walking around that house with your ass out in front of him either.
Now the girls,
but that's a different story. Different strokes for different folks. We got my girl on here. Chanel, what's happening with you?
Nothing, just chilling.
What is it? Name ward now?
Name ward now.
You know what I'm saying?
That's for the gutter.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we about to get into the marriage thing, but we just breaking everything down. We did a moment of silence for Jackie O, man. That was a sad thing, man. And then we went from that. And back to the Jackie O before we jump into the marriage thing, which we really need to get into the marriage thing. The only thing with that, they were together 8 years, and not only is he stuck raising 2 girls and a son without the mother, that's hell enough, but it's gonna probably eat him up that he didn't marry her, man. 8 years and no ring. You know, all that love, and and I think they had mentioned trying to do that. It was talks of them trying to do the marriage thing, but I think they probably was waiting to make it extravagant, to do something special with it, and it didn't happen. And that just goes to show that in the time we're living in now, tomorrow never was promised. The next second is never promised, but we're seeing more of not being promised today than we ever seen before. So if it's somebody that you love, tell them you love them. If it's somebody you appreciate, God damn it, you need to tell them you appreciate them. I mean, we used to could be like, we're not gonna die until we 65, 70, 80 years old. But hell, it's people dropping out. She was 32.
Yeah, man.
It's people dropping off this earth. That's like them kids I sent you, Chanel, in your inbox. 15, 17 is age. They dropping. And the Grim Reaper he don't have a selection no more. He get anybody. Back in the Gap, he waited till you was 65, 68, 70 years old. He getting kids now.
Yep.
And it's people that's 25 and under 30 with heart failure.
Yeah.
With kidney failure.
Yeah.
With what is it when you have to stick your finger?
Young Buck, he got diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah.
At 25 years old. Diabetes, when we were coming up, was an old person disease. 65, 70 years old. You got
I got people that had diabetes though.
I got sugar. Now, Big Mama used to say that, and Big Mama, when she started saying that, Big Mama was like 70 years old when she started talking about she got the sugars. And so, but now they 18, 19, 20 years old with insulin shots. I've never seen that they can take shots in their stomach and stuff, man. I'm like, so we living in a different time.
Yeah, and then sometimes
what are we feeding? What do we even have access to? I ain't gonna say what we feeding our kids. What we got access to, especially in the hood. That's the food does it.
Yeah,
ain't nothing available but bullshit.
Yeah, and you
know, when the quickest, cheapest thing to eat is noodles, and that's the most processed, sodium-filled bullshit food there is. But that's all you can afford. Then you're gonna have kids with diabetes.
You don't have that. Yeah,
all right, Trinkets are us. If you wake back up, Trinket, and you want to comment on the marriage, tune back in. Go and get your little nap. We'll probably be here for a minute.
Yeah.
Trinket's got to go to bed. She got to go to work in the morning.
But you also got people that got diabetes type 1.
Right.
Like my aunt, she was born with diabetes.
Right.
So she had an issue with it. You know, you can be born with it itself.
Right.
But yeah, it's
but yeah, these marriages. Let's jump on the marriages right quick. They're not lasting. Mm-hmm. And I read an article where women are where couples are. They say women are marrying to get divorced. And then you got men that's saying marriage is the last thing they want to do. So marriage is talked down upon now, especially in the Black community. And it's a lady that be breaking it down on why the men are not quick to marry a woman now. Mm-hmm. And like I say, Janelle, we understand you. You tried it. Mm-hmm. It didn't work. And what you went through, I'm sure you're not keen on doing it again. But what you went through.
You know what? It's not even that. It's not really even that. And I know people make the assumption that, oh, you did it, it didn't work, so you wouldn't do it again.
Right.
And all that. I just started evaluating my value system, right? And evaluating why I got married to begin with. So, my decisions come from, and like I said, who knows? I might get swept off my feet and maybe something.
So you're not 100%
against right? And all that. But I just look at my value system and what marriage, and that's for everybody. Like, people have to look at what their value system is. What's important about marriage to you? I care more about the partnership than I do the paperwork. Because for me, that's paperwork, right? And me and my guy friend talked about that before, and the idea that, I don't think you should have to pay to break up if you do break up,
Right.
And most of the time it costs a man cajillions of monies, right? To break up with somebody that they tried to pour into or they tried to be with or whatever the case may be, right? I got out of mine at minimal, right? Because it was uncontested. I went to court and told the people I'm not trying to keep him from his kids. He can help when he can. I just made it simple. We have no liabilities. We have no, assets together. I just give him my freedom, right? And so I made it simple, right? And so, but most women don't. Most women are getting it if things don't work out and you get out of a marriage, and you got to go through these ugly court battles and lawyer fees and all this kind of stuff, right? And so people should be able to sit down and say, hey, this ain't working out. Let's figure this thing out, right? And stuff like that. So for me, the legal part of it is what it is. But you can also be in a legal partnership by, you know, if I'm with my mate and, you know, I want him to be my power of attorney over whatever, that's just going to a lawyer and putting that on paper.
That's
but
what
also just go to a lawyer and remove that from the paper. If I
and Phantom and I had that discussion earlier today because he was saying he was thinking more on a traditional, but I was like, even couples that be together, if you working, you have a 401k. When they ask you who is your beneficiary, you can will that to the kids.
You can will it to the kids.
You can will that to her. So you don't necessarily have to have a marital contract bond to receive something if your mate happened to die. You know, move on. There's ways you can set that up, like she said, with the power of an attorney, a will. So it's ways around that today.
So, but for some people, the value of the marital bond and actually legally going get married, that still has a lot of weight and value for some people, and for some people it just don't. You know.
So you don't think some people just not gonna ever get married? You think some people not gonna get married? Some people are not built.
According to the statistics of men versus women, some people not gonna get married.
A lot of people not gonna get married.
A lot of people not gonna get married.
Right. No,
especially now.
Enough people on the planet to match.
No, I'm speaking on from your personal experience. How do you see it as far as the attitudes of people in marriage? How from your experience and talking to people, how's their attitude?
Yeah, and I know some people that don't have the desire to get married, just like I know people that don't have the desire to ever have children. You know, and it's how they choose to live their life, right? You know, but it's also, again, it's downed upon, it's frowned upon, and
especially now.
That's prerogative. You can choose not to have that if that's not what you want or whatever. You know.
Yeah, I was looking at a documentary dealing with the documentary was called "Living Lonely and Loveless in Japan." And it talked about how the population is suffering from population growth because
people not getting together and having babies.
Right. It's more elderly than it is young people, young babies. Yeah. So what they're doing, they're finding people dying in their homes. They found one man, he was dead for about 2 weeks in his house.
Yeah.
And because their family is not looking after them because of the tradition of them being by themselves, and it's a condition in Japan. It's a mental condition. I can't say it in Japanese that they deal with. That they talked about how, and it's the 40% of the population is not married or they're not engaging in thinking about sex. They're not engaging in none of that in the population, and it's young people. So. The condition is young people. They staying in the house. It was one guy that stayed in his house for 20 years.
Wow.
He was 40 years old. He stayed in his house for 20 years. Now he probably went in and out, but as far as interacting with people, he's been frozen from that because of how Japan is, Tokyo is, and how life is. But on the probably about 45 minutes away out of the mainland in Japan. I forgot Osaka, I think it's Osaka, where another group live. They don't have those type of traditions. So people, the people there, the men there encourage their daughters to get married and to have families, to establish a family, so you won't live alone. Because we're not designed as human beings, regardless of what we alone. Yeah, we're not designed to be alone with one another. And I think we struggle for the relationships. We struggle for that, being in that type of relationship.
But the deal is, once they're in the relationship, the divorce rate is up, especially now. Because like we discussed before, back in the day, they stayed in it because more people, I'm gonna say, was more religious, and they did that vow, and they stuck it out. Whether the man had another family across town with a house and paying for cars, children, the Big Mama and them stayed in it, and they just knew that he's going to hell and he's going to pay for whatever he's done.
But they understood the assignment. They understood what
they understood the assignment. But today we already established with the women working, being educated,
right,
and all of that.
Nobody wants to be living fucking miserable.
Let me say this.
Like, who wants to be in a loveless marriage? Who wants to be in a marriage that's supposed to be monogamous, but you got a whole ass family on the other side of town? I don't want that.
Let me add this:
like that.
It was in the 90s in Tokyo, because it exploded economically.
Okay.
And at that time, the men were going out providing for their families, being head of household, and the women stayed home and raised children.
Okay.
This trend started happening with the population started declining when the women got into the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
So in that ripple and that transition of the women start going to work,
right,
you had a decline in family because number one, she had to work, so she couldn't be there with the children.
Right.
So everybody, you probably dealing with daycare, whatever they do in Tokyo.
Right. And plus, work life does not blend well with children.
Right.
Being pregnant or nothing, none of that.
Right. So there's a level of compromise when you got two people in a household. Like me and you married and we got children. I can't expect you to have the meal on the table when you work too. It got to be some level of compromise where we tired as hell, but we helping each other.
But we're gonna figure out how
to do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's where the decline came from. And then I think this is Japan or Tokyo, China, where they limited on the children that they have.
Right.
But now it's coming to backfire that you got an aging population and you got less babies on the street because through Japan you can see how many old and elderly people that are walking the street and there's less babies on the street.
Right.
So
and America has the same problem with people not having babies. The people that are coming up now they're more conscious and aware of one, am I ready to have kids? And two, they're getting in therapy early. So they're like, I might need to wait on that because I'm gonna fuck my kid up because I don't want to fuck myself. I don't want to fuck my kid up like my mama fucked me up. So they're more conscious and aware. Or I have a couple of clients that's just like, I'm selfish and having a baby means I got to sacrifice a lot and I don't want to do that.
She can't go get that weave and them nails every week and go to them parties.
Or not even that serious. Sleeping in. You can't sleep in with no baby.
Right.
You can't sleep in. Right. And that's minor things, but they want their lifestyle to stay the same, right?
And look at this birth rate. It said the United States during 2018 to 2020, 23%, this is birth rate, 23% were Hispanic, 52.1% were white, 15.2% were black, 0.8% were American Indian, Alaskan. That's like the island Pacific. And the Native American is 6.8. So even the birth rate is kind of straggling because of what's happening in America.
That was post-pandemic. I mean, pre-pandemic.
That was pre-pandemic?
That was.
What did it look like post-pandemic? Because I know they got lots of babies.
Because babies are out here now. Them women got pregnant during that during that quarantine.
We ain't had nothing to do but have sex.
This post-pandemic in the United States, the highest fertility per 1,000 women from the age of 15 to 44. Let's see, and this was, but the data, it said Hispanic was 64.8, followed by blacks 62.6.
Thank you.
No,
it went from 15.
Yeah, no. The fertility is fertility.
Oh, fertility. Okay, fertility.
As opposed to birth rate. So, these women, they fertile, but are they holding?
Are they having babies?
So
they was having them. Babies. So many women got pregnant during the pandemic. It's pathetic.
I'm sure they did. But beyond but look at that. That's why, and the low birth rates and all. That's why the anti-abortion bills, right, and all that.
How you feel that impact you as a woman? I know you passed as far as
I know, I'm past birthing age, but
yeah, but as far as
but still,
your
I feel like
your
a woman
friends,
should have a right to decide. A couple should have a right to decide whether they're ready for parenthood or not.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I raised lots of babies from the system, from parents who couldn't do it, or parents that didn't want to do it. You know, like I think that's irresponsible to not allow people to make that choice and all that.
Yeah, in the state of Texas, Governor Abbott, he banned abortion on all levels. He don't care if
on every level,
incest.
Right.
He don't care nothing about that.
Right.
So you
Which
can't,
is really messed up.
get no abortion. You know,
which is really messed up. Because somebody got violated, now they gotta live with the trauma of that.
Yeah, my thing is, I feel like women and men, but the women, because a man can't have sex if he's not raping her without the woman's consent. So I'm one who feels like she needs to make better choices. But in the event that there's a rape and incest or something like that, I feel like if she can come with a police report,
and all that too. So
if she can come with a police report showing that she was raped, she should be given that abortion. If she can come with proof that it's incest,
how many women do you know personally that's been sexually violated?
Yeah, she done been sexually violated.
I'm asking you, how many women do you know that have been sexually violated?
A few of them, not a lot, but a few.
I can guarantee you, most of the women you know have been sexually violated in some way, shape, form, or fashion at some point in their life. We don't talk about it. It's embarrassing. Right. We get victim blamed. It's our fault. What was you wearing? Did you look at him funny? Don't come to me about reports. We don't.
Yeah, but the context he was speaking on with dealing with abortion was saying that's the condition that abortion
should be granted.
Allowed. But free love and I'm at
just out there just willy-nilly having sex and getting pregnant.
Getting pregnant now.
But that's two people. That's two people's responsibility.
Yeah, that's two people.
You can't put that all on a woman.
Right. But
but when they do that and she get pregnant, and then I also said if that woman can't afford the child,
walk away and then she end up with a baby by herself.
Right. That's why I say, and if she can't, it should be like a income level. If she can't afford to take care of the child, that should be grounds for abortion.
When they got two people take sperm and egg to make babies,
it take them. But like you say, the man may walk away. He's not stuck with that child. That woman is naturally stuck with that child.
At all with none of y'all, and then men just go without pussy. That's all. Because those are the options that we're coming down to. We're gonna get it in or not get it in, and it's both people's responsibility.
It's both. But we know in our community,
I'm not gonna let you do that.
In our community, the woman stuck with the child, and the government becomes the father.
And a poor ass father that is.
So, but that's how a majority of ours end up. But
and then there are some women also, but this is not as simple as people just willy-nilly have sex or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some women are manipulated into sex. Some women have low self-esteem and end up in sexual relationships that they didn't necessarily mean to get into, but they have their own trauma. They got daddy issues or they got mama issues or whatever the issues may be, right? And then you just have teenagers that's out there doing their thing, being teenagers, being irresponsible. What I'm saying? Right. And all that. Those are just facts of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's speaking to those the irresponsible ones, and I think the reason why
who here has not been irresponsible though?
All of us, even the lawmakers, been irresponsible. Yeah,
precisely.
They
I haven't been irresponsible.
A child coming to this world and have to suffer, right? And I can understand that people don't believe in abortion. I definitely understand that, right? And I respect that. But I want people to see all perspectives of it. And I speak from personal experience, and I'm not ashamed to say I was 15 and got pregnant and I had an abortion. My life would have went on a whole different trajectory had I had that baby. Because he wasn't going to be there. He meant me no good, right? but I was cool with a little boy who was preying upon me and my vulnerabilities, right?
Right.
You know,
right,
and I
right.
thought I
and
was
you have men out there that only looks for women
exactly
that's vulnerable,
exactly
low self-esteem.
right.
They
And
out
so
there, boy. They out there.
They should not be damned to have to take care of a baby, right? I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna get out of my mama's house and trying to go to school and do all the things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like my life was better and that baby's life was better for not being here because I couldn't have took care of it well. Right. We both would have been another statistic. You know, but I sit here before you today because I made that sacrifice and I went on to have kids and adopt kids and take care of other people's kids and all that kind of stuff. You know, it was a very hard decision and it was very saddening. And I didn't grieve it I didn't have the opportunity to even grieve it in the moment, right? Because I was already taking care of my mother's children. Right. And it wasn't until recently that I allowed myself to grieve. And I'm 51, right? And so I just carried it. And I carried it alone, right? And so my heart bleeds for anybody who is put in that position, be it manipulation, be it having a missing piece of themselves, or whatever it is, right? But you just don't know what's going on at the heart of people, in the mind of people, and what they're struggling and suffering with, right? I would have never went off to college, right? I don't even know if I would have been able to finish high school or my mama would have took over everything, but I still would have been taken care of because I was taking care of hers. Right. So what condition would I have been in? Maybe still stuck in New Orleans below the poverty rate, you know, and possibly popping out another couple of kids because I was so sad and depressed. I don't know. Maybe I couldn't take care of it and I commit suicide and I just can't do this no more. No telling where I would be. Right. But that decision saved my life.
Right. How many biological children you have? Two biological children. You said you adopted children?
And so I adopted 5 children, 4 legally. The other one we took in after she graduated from foster care. So 5 girls.
Okay. I'm looking up something from Gut Mastery Institute, U.S. abortion patients. Speaking on income, 75% of those patients are poor or low income, and a religious 62% are religiously affiliated. Family size 59% already have one child, and by age 60% are in their 20s. Only 12% are teens.
It's not that many teens.
Now this is about race.
Okay,
39% of all abortions is by white people. 28% is by blacks. 25% is by Hispanics. 6% is by Island Pacific, and 3% is other. I'm gonna put this in the chat. So people,
the whites were doing it first.
Because they have the money,
and that's what the bill is for.
The money and the means, they have the money and the means to go get an abortion. We too poor,
and they tend to, overall as a culture, like it pains Black people to have an abortion. Like it take a long time for us to make that decision, right? And all that. But overall, I've seen that white people tend to be the more that use it like birth control. You know, I mean, I sat in a clinic supporting somebody and listened to all the stories around me, and the 2 white women that were sitting there were like, "Oh, this is like my 3rd one. This is my 4th one. Oh, I did it 4 times already." Where the Black women in there were trying to justify in their hearts the reason that they needed to do this, right? And needed validation for that, right? And so they were telling me these stories of, well, I got 4 children already, and they daddy in jail, and I can't keep doing this, and I'm almost finished with nursing school, or I'm right at the edge of finishing my bachelor's degree, and you know, and I thought I could go ahead and have, but I can't, right? You know, and so they have to so it's a whole different deal, right? And stuff. That's what this law is placed for, right? It ain't for us. It's for them to keep populating, because they will willy-nilly go and do it.
Oh yeah, because they know there's a book called The Browning of America.
Yeah.
The book it details how by the year 2050, whites will be the minority in America.
Right.
And those at the high birth rate, the Hispanics, they're going to be leading as far as birth rates because they're having more children than we are. Right. So we probably really have to learn to speak Spanish, but they understand that they at a zero birth rate. So for every one white person that's born, one dies. So I think we right at a 3%. They said when you gauging right under 1%, that's the issue. So they gauging right under that. So now black people, we're having children and we're moving. I think it's like 50 million of us now.
Yeah.
But we're still a minority in America. But you can see the Hispanics, they starting to move and multiply. Just what did I say? In the report, it talked about the birth rate. It says with the Hispanics is 25%. They right up under the blacks, 28% as far as with the abortion. So they having children too out of wedlock. So they doing the abortion.
But so how many of those couples? I mean, what percentage of them are coupled up? How many are married?
Oh, it don't show that because it's circumstantial. That can be lumped in married and unmarried. So that can be lumped in. That can be lumped into that. But I can look it up.
Yeah, and I don't know the statistics on that either. But I do know that there are several people that are coupled up or married who also decide this ain't the best thing for us right now.
I mean, I understand that, especially that's why I say with the income, it should be based on an income level, just like they do SNAP or SSI and different things like that. It should be based on an income. If this couple already have 2 children and their income is not set for a third child, they should qualify for an abortion. I mean, I just feel like you shouldn't just ban the shit. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It should be. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to control, especially the black population. They don't want them laying down, spitting babies, and then the government take care of babies.
It's about them not having enough white people.
Yeah,
they're trying not to be the minority.
Right. So they're trying to stop us from producing.
Man, and that's another statistic just to add on. Before I didn't mean to cut you off. Now it says 38.7% of whites, because on cross-referencing 27.6. So it dropped among black people and it dropped among Hispanics with 24.8%. Island Pacific is 5.5. Others 3.4. That's like the Asian population. But the Island Pacific Pacific Islanders, I work with them, so they more family oriented. They marry amongst themselves.
Yeah, they very family oriented.
They marry amongst themselves, so they don't go outside of the race. You can look at them, but they ain't looking back at you. They love their man. Oh yeah. Some of them women bad. Them women bad. They But anyway, so so with that, so the trend is still there that white folks they at an alarm that they having more abortions because they got the money to do so.
Exactly.
You can have
I'm thinking I think that's gonna backfire because most white folks have the money and the access to even do it or know somebody or fly somewhere and get it done. You know what I'm saying?
And get it done. Or they probably cheating. They probably a politician. What if it's a politician that got somebody pregnant?
Oh, he gonna make
that got somebody. You not a law intact. You can't get that abortion unless you go into another country. He gonna make sure it get done. But the average Joe Blow, shit.
Right. So if you got access or you got power, you gonna still get it done. You know what I'm saying? And so those of us who can't, then we'll still be having babies. So there'll still be more brown people.
That's right.
Let's do the statistics on how many who has the highest divorce rate.
The highest divorce rate.
Yeah.
Among races.
Is it us? I think it's us. What you think, Chanel?
I don't know. That's a good one.
Okay.
Because I know right now we're the least to get married, probably.
Right. I can believe that. I can definitely believe
the
that.
new generation got it where nobody even thinking about no damn marriage. Right. If you didn't marry right at 10 years ago, 8 years ago, you ain't trying to do that shit. That is not the thing to do.
Yeah. But you know what? Therapeutically, I also see that you know, people they want to be ready. They want to be, and I don't think that people don't want to be married as much. I don't think it's so much that there's among people that's getting help. I'm saying, you know, that's actually working on themselves. I see a lot of, you know, I don't want to do that until I'm absolutely ready. I want to be a good mate. You know what I'm saying? And so, or I'm not going to marry for the sake of marrying. I'm going to marry the right person so I can stay married.
How long does that usually take? No.
You know, I mean, that can take a long time, and that's the thing. That can take a while. That can take a while.
Even if and what we usually get,
you know,
when you do it like that, what we usually get, real nigga shit. You know me. I tell it raw.
Tell it.
When you do it like that, this is what we see. We see a lot of women that go out there that when they in their heyday, when they fine as hell, when they feel like they popping and all that shit.
Right. Your knees working.
And they out there looking good. They sex who they want. They the bomb. In the minute they get a wrinkle here, a wrinkle there, and they get out of shape, they didn't have that Dunlap, the stomach Dunlap, and the butt done flap, and now they 35, 40 years old. Now they ready to get married. But when they was in their heyday, looking good, 25, 28, bench pressing 30, they wanted to be out there flexing and looking good and popping babies out for what the people call the Pookies and the Chads or the Ray Rays. And then now they want a successful 45 plus black man to marry them, settle down with, and provide, protect, and all of that.
Yeah,
got 2 kids. So that's the only problem.
And so, but this the ratio. It says this from divorce.com.
Divorce.
Black adults have the highest divorce rate and the lowest marriage rate, according to research. There are many at marry at later ages, 32 for men, 31 for women. Black women are the only group among other races with the number of divorces higher in the marriage rate. So now I'm going to Just Lawyers, justgreatlawyers.com. It's blacks at 30.8%, Hispanics at 18.5%, whites at 15.1%, and other groups at 12.4%. Now it says what race has the lowest divorce rate in America? It's Asian. Asian men and women had the lowest proportion divorce rate in America.
But you know what, Chanel? I feel like a lot of that, number one, is social media. Number two, you still in contact with them single friends that's making you feel like you missed something from being in a relationship because they really want a relationship. Majority of the single women that's on my social media, my Instagram, my goddamn Twitter, my Facebook, that's how about they happily single. Wait till they'll say I'm happily single today, and look on that motherfucker 7-10 days later, they wish they had somebody to rub their booty.
Right.
So I'm like, but you was just happily single.
About the happily single.
Last two.
Secretly inside, they still want somebody.
So the deal is, that's why the rate is so up. Everybody want to be outside. A man with morals and standards he controlling. He's boring and controlling because he don't want you out there hanging with Shaniqua at 2 o'clock in the morning at the trail ride with your mini skirt on, your cutout shorts, borderline showing your cat ass. He controlling and boring. So
well, how does he? It depends on how he's approaching her with it. Does he just
I'm talking about the ones that's married,
or is he sitting down with her and saying, "Babe, I want you to respect your body because I respect your body"? You know, like what the conversation look like?
I mean, you know, and I said this. I'm talking about. I might have been a sophomore in college, dating this girl. We was getting ready to go to a party, and she was getting dressed. Her friend had given us some clothes to wear, you know, to go out. You know, like y'all used to do that back in the gap. Girl, I got this outfit. I'm wearing this. You need to wear this. Okay. So when she put it on, it was a little too short on her because she was a little thicker than her partner. And she had nerve to ask me, what did I think about the outfit? My thing was this here. When she was looking in the mirror, she was turning to the side, pulling it down. And so I'm like, it ain't what I think. What you think about the outfit? You got a man, she don't. What do you think about the outfit? So my thing is, if you thick and nicely proportioned, you wear something that when you look in the mirror, like I said, I used to hear a lot of them and her friends used to come over to the apartment and get dressed. And I used to hear them say, the ones who had a man, ooh, if Junior saw me in this, he'll make me take this out. But if you know that, why in the hell are you wearing it? So my thing is, you know what's inappropriate. It's just that you want to wear what you want to wear. Are you trying to impress your friend or something like that? But you know what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. If you have to look in that mirror and you pulling a shirt down, or you trying to pull a skirt down, or you know them pants too tight, and you trying to get a shirt to cover up a portion of the butt or your front, then you know it's inappropriate. Don't ask me, because I'm gonna say it's what you want to wear, and then I'm gonna act accordingly. If you wear that shit and you know it's disrespectful at the whole party, I'm barely gonna talk to you. I'm gonna pull up with you.
If somebody asks you a direct question, just say, "No, baby, I don't think that's appropriate."
Nah, you should know though. Then if I say it's not appropriate, but if the man say it's a lose-lose situation for the man, Chanel, because if I say it's not appropriate, you want her to dress like a nun.
Tell her what's appropriate for you.
Man, they know. Y'all know. When you like right now, if you may have a tight, you may have a nice dress in there right now that you wore 5 years ago.
And I'm a heavy
You thicker than what you were 5 years ago.
I'm way thicker than where I was quite some time ago, right? But when I was visiting with the boo last week, right, and all that, I had on I tied up a shirt in the middle so my midriff was out, right, and stuff. And I had on short shorts. They wasn't tight, but they were short shorts. My entire thigh was out. There was no ass cheek out.
I don't give a damn. If you think like that, you ain't with.
He was hell. And I looked at him and asked him, "Does outfit make you want to fight in the streets?" He was like, "No." And I went places with him, right? And so, and I asked his opinion, right? You know, now.
Okay, what if he would have said yeah?
Women would have said yeah. I would have changed.
Yeah.
So you different.
Changing if it made
but women feel like they don't want a man to tell them nothing. But if they put us in a situation, they expect us to defend them.
I want to know. Right. I want to know.
So that's not fair to the man, because what you just did, that's what a woman should do.
Right.
Because you put this man in a situation Now he telling you, hey, now if he would have said no, you would have changed your clothes. But most women, they want to do what they want to do. Then they would.
Yes. She don't count because she a damn therapist and she know. She understands, and she's a woman of respect.
A lot of women don't.
Yeah,
right.
She's a woman of respect.
And then
she's gonna respect her mate.
If I was talking to a group of women, I would definitely say so. Like if you're gonna ask the question, right?
And they don't want to hear
mad about the answer.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. If you decide you want to wear what you want to wear, what the hell are you asking them questions for?
Right. And
my question is, you want to wear what you want to wear? Why in the hell is she in a relationship?
Yeah, you don't need to be in a relationship. You just need to do.
Just like my man went out there with in some outfit that I wasn't approving of. I want to be able to say, hey, baby, I don't want you to go out there looking like that, and the woman gonna be all right. Or what a case.
Hey, that's what I told Bob. I say, hey, on that, if you want to wear what you wear, when I want to step out in my gray pants and do my gray sweats and do the great,
hanging and swinging,
gray pants challenge, I don't want to hear shit. And I got a couple of gray sweats in here.
Good for the gander. If you can do it, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Right? And if it's fair,
but I ain't gonna play games with you but once or twice though.
Yeah.
If it's something I don't like, I ain't gonna play with you but once or twice. I'm gonna do it once or twice, and at that third time, I'm like, either you gonna do this, you need to find you somebody else. I ain't gonna play with you too many times.
We gonna get into
hey, roll the
clip. Why most people get divorced, and you want to do the other one?
Nah, do the why most people get divorced.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, here we go.
See what you think.
The biggest red flag I see that signals a marriage is going to end is that one spouse just doesn't care anymore. They don't try. When that happens, it's hard to pull them back in and make the marriage work. Not caring can mean not listening to your spouse. It can mean shutting down almost all communication. It can a lot of times mean just doing whatever you want, going out whenever you want, and not taking into consideration that you're married to someone and that their feelings and their opinions matter too. And when that happens, you need to evaluate if it's worth trying to save or if it's time to move on.
That's real.
And see, you were different because you really love your mate. Regardless of what we talk about, Main Street, Nail, whatever, you showed you love your mate because you asked his opinion. And if he would have said, well, it is showing a bit and it is a little bit over the top, you would have toned it down. You get what I'm saying? Because
I want to put something else on.
Like you said, men and women don't think alike. And what we feel like is too revealing. You may feel like, because you know your body,
right?
I'm covering down midway to my knee, and I don't really see a problem with it. Now, if it was up to showing the coochie cutters,
right,
I could see you saying something. But this is almost to my knee, and they're tights. Women wear tights,
right?
Then I'm with my man, and I ain't thinking about nobody. That's y'all mindset.
That's our mindset, right?
But that man be like, man, everybody finna be looking at my woman, especially if y'all not equally yoked or tight like that. Let's just say y'all be into it every third day, and today is a good day.
Right.
And so when it's that good day, that man still be thinking about that bad day, and that he never know when you gonna see something someone you like.
Right.
Or somebody that you have been in contact with that he don't know about.
Right.
And then when y'all pass him, he looked to the back and the guy looking back. And when you was walking to him, you done touched your hair out and fixed your shirt. It's little signs like that real men notice when they interested are deeply involved with a woman.
Right.
And it's when y'all on up and down terms, and then you want to do what you want to do, like the guy said in there. And that's majority of all the relationships. Right. Men withdraw back when they see that woman don't respect them like you respect your man. If she just throw on her clothes what she wants to wear, fix her hair the way she want to fix her hair, throw on that outfit she want to wear, and then be like, you ready to go? Let's go. Then if he like, where you going with that on? Man, I can wear what I want to wear, blah, blah, blah. That's like he said, that's a red flag. That's a problem.
Right.
She ain't feeling you no more.
Right.
Real nigga shit. So either you gonna get in there and try to turn it around, or you need to evaluate, is that something you need to stay
You
in?
need to want to move
Because
forward.
when she don't value that man's opinion anymore, that's a problem.
That's
I
a
had
problem.
somebody where the female she dresses, pretty sexy all the time, right? And when he met her, she was dressing like that, right?
Right.
And then he got in the relationship and then said, I don't like how you're dressing. And so she's like, but you met me dressing like this.
Right.
So what is y'all opinion on like,
Do you really want me to answer that? I'm gonna let him answer. You don't want me to answer.
I think that, and that's good that you got to make the decision if you want to move forward with that person. So because I made that mistake. He got on me about one instance dealing with a woman, and man, she was a cheat sheet. She said what she was gonna do and she did it.
Right.
And he didn't let me live it down. You know what I'm saying? But she was being fair. She said, "You're a good dude. I don't want to hurt you. This, that, and the third. I'm not feeling you like that anymore. This is how it is. This is how it's going to be." So you run a risk. And I think a lot of times, even with women, it's like a moth to a flame. They know that a man is no good for them, but they'll still move forward.
Yeah.
So if you telling me that you this way, Chanel, and it's hard to look past that lens when you like somebody,
right?
So I can't be so judgmental with people when you really like somebody, but they telling you how it takes a lot of strength to walk away from somebody that you like.
The deal is this:
we know you.
Like,
you see how he don't let me finish, but that's what he do.
Like cousin James would say, because we got you. Like cousin James would say, like the Austin to say. Okay, here's the thing. That's what he loves to say. Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. You was dressed in a certain way.
Yeah.
Not only did you catch my eye, but you caught a lot of other eyes too. I'm just the one you chose.
Right.
Okay. So I'm one of the ones you chose, and the one that was still upstanding when all the other ones left or whatever. Okay. I understand that. I ain't no damn fool. Okay.
Right.
So now that you attracted me by dressing like that, we together now. I'm supposed to be your man, the only one and only.
Okay.
So I don't feel like you need to still dress and hang out in the spots where we met once we become serious. Because I feel like
I'm not talking hanging, because I get the hanging part.
Yeah.
I would not you can't be hanging out in the spaces that you were single in, because you ain't single no more, right?
Yeah. Now and then the dressing part.
If I like crop tops and I met you in a crop top, you know what I'm saying? And some little shorts and all that.
That was cool. But were you single then?
Yeah, and I was single then.
Okay.
But you hollered,
and we together now.
We
so
got to this point where
now that we're together,
we together now and all that. But I still like my crop tops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I like hanging with the boys and getting playing bullshit with the women too. But I ain't gonna be able to do that. That's why marriage is give and take.
But dressing, but dressing is different.
Dressing is different.
You gotta have that conversation with her. You gotta have that conversation from the outset.
But like you say, you got me in that outfit. I'm kind of selfish. And like when I met mine, the one I'm with now, my mom told her when we was just meeting, we probably was call ourselves dating 3-4 months, maybe. Mom, soon as she met mom, the first thing mom said to her, he jealous. And she should have she should have ran for the hills then, been like, fuck that shit. Because I know I would have.
But why be jealous though? That's your life.
If I met you,
that's you.
If I met you in a crop top and some damn tights and we got together, everybody else, because believe me, because I'm a DJ, I'm in the clubs. I go check clubs out just to see what type of music they play just in case I have to DJ it in the next week or month or so. So I'll be in the party scene. I hear what all them other niggas saying when they looking at your ass and them tights that you wearing. Yeah, your tights are nice. You wearing some nice tights. You got on a nice little shirt, you know, that accent your tights. All that's great. But I'm hearing them saying, man, look at that, man. Oh man, if I could just. So when I get you, that's all I'm hearing every time me and you in the public. Man, if I could just. I'm just a different type of person. I'm not gonna want you advertising. I call it, to a degree, advertising once you with somebody. I feel like once we get in a relationship, our old ways need to we need to evolve and get some new ways.
But that's a conversation you got to have in the beginning. That's what we're saying. Is having a conversation.
Thank you, Lotus. Thank you. Because somebody always gonna say something.
Gonna have something to say. But if she say, "Man, I ain't doing that shit up. You met me this way. I ain't changing for nobody."
Yeah, I met you that way. But just like the women may not want the men
that I like, that I enjoy, because I have a mate. You know, and I think about that even in the construct when I was married, right? And I remember, and it wasn't even that I was dressing sexy. It really, really wasn't. I could put on a damn paper bag. I'm still fucking cute, right? Yeah, I'm still a beautiful woman, and I'm a fine ass woman. So when I'm walking even with you hand in hand and arm in arm, and people are looking at me, I remember him saying one day, like, man, there's always looking at you. And I was like, just because we're together does not make me ugly all of a sudden. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I'm still going to be attractive. And people are going to say stuff, and people still gonna look at my ass and be like, boy, if I could, you know, like, that's just the natural phenomenon of the thing. Be secure in your position. Right.
Then, like I say,
I'm your baby.
That's why we said earlier. That's easy. That's why I said earlier. That's why I said earlier. That's everything's fine when y'all are good. But if y'all into it 24/7 and you mad, that may feel different, and that's both ways.
It's about the value of your relationship and the status of your relationship. That means you're not secure in your position.
But Chanel, that should make a man feel good that a man
admire
your
woman. And that's how I feel like a man should be proud.
That's a problem.
Yeah, he should be proud. But what if she's showing off everything? He should be proud of his woman walking around with her titties out and her ass out.
That's a conversation with comfortability of how much you can show.
Of how much you can deal with in the beginning. So if you know, if Chanel, she's nice looking, fine woman.
And if I want to cleavage out,
okay.
Are you uncomfortable with cleavage out? And how much cleavage?
And bam. So if she goes out there and she don't have cleavage, she dress appropriately and she still look good.
That's cool.
That's okay.
No. I love that. Yeah, I love that because you looking at my woman because she's beautiful, not because she got her ass out, not because her titties out.
That's what we're saying.
I come from standards and morals. Ain't no woman finna be walking around me looking like Sierra was looking with old boy. I ain't cut like that. I'm cut from a different cloth. You ain't finna be wearing no thongs with a goddamn see-through mesh thing on, showing your goddamn titties with some little plastic shit over your nipples.
That was the thing of the party.
Because
I don't give a damn. We not going to no theme party like that. Because guess what?
And there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to that type of theme party.
Chanel, you got some women, Chanel, that switch up on you, like you said. That you made me think about that they agree with you to be with you,
right?
But then they switch up and show the real person of who they. So a lot of times you don't really know who people is if you're having that conversation. Yeah, you can remedy that at the dump. But if if I see you something different, I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell you about men.
I got an even better one for you.
Go ahead.
Only, let's say 5 years ago, you know, or when I first met Boo, right?
Yeah.
And all that. I was in a sad state of mind. I didn't have as much body positivity as I do now. And so maybe I wouldn't have put on certain outfits because I could still hear my mama's voice in my head telling me I was fat. Right. So over the years, I've grown to love my body and appreciate my body. And so
Right.
maybe I might show more thigh now. Maybe I'll
Right.
wear a cut off shirt or, or a crop top, because I wouldn't have worn that a few years back,
Right.
but now I'm forever like tying a shirt up here and, bitch, you cute,
Right,
and all that. So now that I've grown into loving and appreciating my body, then I might put on more outfits that's considered more sexy or show more skin,
Right.
and all that,
Long
right?
as it's
And so can my mate handle that change, because that's a positive change, because I feel good about my body.
Right.
Long as you're not revealing and showing too much, I got no problem with that. But when it's, when it's overboard, because you have to.
But everybody don't know. You keep saying as if it's
man.
common.
I just think people know. I just feel like
a family where your mama had her titties out and your grandma had her titties out because she's 30 and your mama 15 years older than that. You know what I'm saying? And all that, like, and so that's your culture.
So you saying, well, I mean, you're right, because some men.
That stuff has to be taught within the confines of a relationship, because neither one of them had no man in their house. So nobody ever said, baby, don't
and then they may not know what's appropriate. That could be appropriate.
And that's why I say, if somebody coming to you as their man and saying, hey, baby, is this too much?
Y'all need to answer instead of just saying, hey, if that what you want to wear.
But no,
that's what you want to wear, just wear it. And then so I feel, like I say, I learn, I listen to this be therapy to me, because I feel like I know when I'm doing something wrong, so I figure like you should know when you doing something wrong. So, but everybody don't operate like that.
Right and wrong is relative to what you grew up in.
That's right. Hey, Black, what to run this clip? Why Black women? What now? What is this on the thing?
Yeah, you can run her. She just putting the modern Black woman in their place.
Okay.
This is why men don't want to marry Black women right here.
You don't have to go to college to find a man. But what's not common is you don't see a lot of Black women sitting in the audience either engaged or married, even though we are the most enrolled. On top of that, 1 in 4 of us are married. So even though Black men marry us at higher rates than they marry outside of their race, and they are the demographic that marries interracially the most, they're still not marrying Black women at substantial rates compared to other races. White women almost double in marriage. What I'm speaking to is a mentality. Black women is the only group of women that says things as a collective. I don't need a man. I'm strong and independent. Fuck a nigga, get money. I can raise my kids on my own. I can do everything by myself. We're the only group of women that disassociate ourselves from our men. And the very moment that they come with their preferences in response to our standards, we have the audacity to say things like they're insecure, sassy, zesty, misogynistic, or they just simply hate Black women. Y'all don't practice what you preach. A lot of y'all are trying to heal from the hurt that your father caused, and you taking it out on every man as if you've dated every Black man, and then we'll have the audacity to say, well, these men are not doing this, these men are not doing this. The definition of insanity is doing something the same way, expecting some different results, and y'all keep doing stuff the same way because it's a mentality.
That's what's up.
Definitely a mentality.
That's what's up.
It's the mentality of the women that we have out here today. Mm-hmm. They want to wear what they want to wear, do what they want to do.
Where the problem lies. It's still a problem that lies from the beginning parts. It lies from this girl didn't have no man in her house to begin with.
And you said that earlier. You said that. You said that as soon as you came on here. Yeah. You said that a lot of them going through what they going through because they didn't have the father, or they trying to heal from what the father didn't do the past. You said that when you first came on.
Yeah.
And Chanel, even dealing with I know in Islam, I know in the holy world, they deal. Rape is punishable by death. Mm-hmm. So the reason why it's punishable by death dealing with a woman is that when you rape a woman, she dies.
Yeah.
It really take God to bring her back from rape. So I've met and I know women personally that's been molested since they were children until they was teenagers. And when they became teenagers, they went crazy. not crazy in the craziness, but they had a lot of sexual partners. The body count was going up, but at the root of it, they were looking for love, and that's the only way they can express it. I told a story about a girl that I knew, beautiful woman, beautiful girl. At the time, we were probably about 17, 18 years old, and she contracted HIV because she was having sex with a lot of men. But this is the only way that she was able to translate
feel love.
Love was having sex with these men. And when a woman goes through that, it's not that we're dealing with the high body count. We're not being judgmental. We just understand the psychological toll it can take. That a man can't heal. You hate men. You know what I'm saying? Even when I have a conversation dealing with this woman, she don't like men at the head of nothing because of what happened to her. So,
but on the same note,
really can't.
They jump up, Brizzle.
You really can't. You can't really. You got to really understand that too when you're dealing with somebody. Is this
exactly my thing?
Are you strong enough to deal with that? Because
they jump up,
love them, but you got to be strong enough to deal with that type of woman that's been through that, and it takes a certain type of man to deal, because if you're not strong enough to deal with that type of woman, she can run circles around you, because in that process, what she was telling me, she learned game, she learned how to manipulate men, she learned how to get things out of men, pretend like she want this man, love this man, had these men falling in love with her to get what she wanted, but she didn't care nothing about those men. And then in the process, once she got into relationships, she suffered, because when she finally found the men in her life that she loved, she could not reciprocate.
She didn't know how to.
She didn't know how to receive love from men. Genuine love. So now she by herself. She up, beautiful girl, very attractive, but she's angry, and you can see it in her spirit. It sits in her spirit. And when you around her, you can kind of tell. You know what I'm saying? So though she's beautiful, she still needs to heal the little girl that got molested. They got molested, and she was mistreated. So that in it, in Islam, man, that's really punishable by death. We just, you get done. That's it, because that child can't come back. It's gonna take God to bring that child, because that child is really dead, to be honest with you. And it's gonna take God to really bring her back to the path where she need to be a true functioning human being. Yeah. So that's what I wanted.
But then a lot of women like that end up getting married, and they're part of that divorce rate.
They are.
They
are. And they say 80% of it.
Because either you're looking for love in the wrong places, or trying to heal that inner child and all that. So you marry somebody hoping that heals you, but it don't. Because that little girl is still hurt on the inside. And like you said, Jay, she's angry, right? She's angry. So I'm talking to you crazy. Every time something come up, like, I'm blaming you, or like I got all this pent up frustration or whatever, because I never healed from the time that me was taken from me. Right. So now I don't know myself. And there's no way you can stay in a marriage relationship without knowing yourself.
And she don't like to be touched. She don't like you in her space. Right today, she don't like being touched. It's a certain distance you can get, because she said it reactivates, it re-stimulates whatever she went through.
PTSD.
And a man, that's hard for a man to deal with. And so she's gonna struggle in relationships. Period. If she don't want to be touched, it triggers something, she's going to struggle in that relationship. And a lot of women don't heal.
It's a big part of a marriage relationship.
A lot of them don't heal from childhood. Whether they dad neglected them, whether somebody they was in love with and crazy about dogged them out. And then they carry that baggage into the relationship. And then you'll think everything's fine. You go in there, you got a great day going, you ready to take her out to eat, you ready to spend the day with her, and she in there then had a flashback on some shit that happened 20 years ago. And you sitting there like, what I do?
Right.
But it's not you. It's just that she
didn't even know what the trigger was.
Right.
So relationship it's not easy, man. I tell people all the time, like the Austin was on here and he realizing it now. But when we ran the podcast a long time ago, he was like, relationships are easy. It depends on who you get in a relationship with. I don't give a damn who you're in a relationship with. You guys are gonna grow. You guys are gonna change. You guys are gonna go through some stuff. It's gonna be some things that you didn't discuss that wasn't discussable.
Right, that wasn't discussed when it was supposed to be.
when you were supposed to discuss it, it's gonna be some things that comes up 5 years when you're in it. Because most marriages end or start breaking down within that 7th year. If you make it to that 7th year, that 7th and 8th year, it's the hardest damn. You feel like Jesus. They say Jesus was holding that damn cross going up that hill. You feel like that when it's that 7th and 8th in a year. I don't know why, but majority of the people that I know that got a divorce, they did it in their 7th year. It was right at the 6th year, or they turned around and it was right at the 8th, but they went through their thing in their 7th year.
Yeah, and Black, just to add on, even with us just being taught in the nation, is really, when say me and Chanel were married, it's really wise for us to hold off on having children for at least 2 to 3 years. Say we want to have children, let's hold off to about 2 to 3 years, because in that process we're getting to know each other.
I held out 5 years. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait 5 years.
Let me add this: that you get in this process, and they said 3, 7, and if you can get past 7, and I think 10, you really can. It's really smooth selling if you get from that point. But dealing with Sister Law, she puts. It takes a real man to have patience and understand what you're going through. That's true. But that's true. Now, it's a lot of men, though, Lotus, that understand that. But you got some women, 80% of divorces are being initiated by women. So it's not necessarily that the men are leaving. It's the women not blaming
leaving because of maybe the lack of understanding.
The lack of understanding. And this is not knock on nobody. Wait a second. No knock on no woman. So before I say what I'm saying, but statistically wise, they're the ones initiating the divorce rate. A lot of it is irreconcilable differences. A lot of it, they said, is that they've grown apart. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to stay in it, when you want to stay in it, but you can't control a person if they want to leave if they're not happy.
The deal is this.
And a lot of times, even when dealing with trauma, and I'm gonna say this, even dealing with trauma, trauma can come in the form of sound, trauma can come in the form of smell, trauma can come in the form of a song. It can. What's up, Kimbo? It can come in the form of anything, and that can be replayed if that's not revisited, and the charge is taken out of it. So a lot of times, that's what you're dealing with. Yeah, we can stay in there with you. But you gotta want it too, right? Don't leave.
Okay, being that the Austin ain't here, I'm taking his role tonight.
Don't leave.
I'm gonna take the Austin's role tonight. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Here's the thing. Okay.
Let me get something to drink. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing. The man tolerates the woman, bends over backwards. Try to understand what's going on. So that may take a year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. Him trying to work with this broken woman, try to piece together whatever he can with this broken woman. But on that same note, that woman's still going through what she's going through. He don't know how to, if anything, what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do. And if everything, because he don't know how broken she is and how to help heal the brokenness, they slowly tend to drift apart a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he feel like I'm doing everything I can to help, and
good enough.
It's not being appreciated, or she act like it's nothing. And then when he shuts down and gives up, so to speak, because he like, hell, she's not happy. Right. And to be honest with you, I honestly feel like a man cannot make no woman happy.
And vice versa.
He cannot make no goddamn woman happy. No matter what he buy, no matter where they go, he can take her to Sandro Pay. A man cannot make a woman happy. If that woman is depressed, sad within herself, her personality, she's not happy with her position in life. A man cannot just come in there and wave a magic wand and she's happy. A woman is happy for the moment. Let's just say you want a you want a Tesla. That man break his back, break his neck, everything, because he know you sad, you depressed, you in a state, he want to help bring you out of it, and all you talk about every time y'all ride, oh, there go that Tesla right there, oh, that Tesla, there go that Tesla. So he go and get that Tesla for you. When you see that Tesla, oh my God, oh, you gonna fall out, you gonna cry, you the happiest thing in the world. You just, oh man, oh baby, now he got me this, he got me that, man. That shit gonna last about a month and a half.
Yeah.
A good month and a half. And God forbid if a friend, a cousin, or some of yours pop up with a Hellcat and she bragging on that Hellcat. You done had that goddamn Tesla for a month and a half. You seen them new new Hellcats? I'm like, hell yeah, I seen them new Hellcat. We got a motherfucking right up there. You want me to spray paint Hellcat on that motherfucker? You want me to carve Hellcat on there? You want me to just buy the symbols outline and we can stick Hellcat on the side? You know, but a woman is hard to please. A woman, and a man will never make her happy. She'll be happy for the moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real. I don't care, because I watch my mom.
I want to add to this, because what you're saying, I'm gonna add to it.
All right.
In a woman's nature, it's natural. We're not gonna say happy. Oh, it's not in her nature to be satisfied. She's not gonna. She'll be okay with what you give her, but if you're maintaining, even with love, in a healthy marriage, for me to be maintain love and respect with Chanel, I gotta. Do you remember the song? What have you done for me lately? I can't go off my achievements in the 90s with Chanel on what's happening in 2023. So you have to keep pushing and improving. Okay, she's happy with that, but you got to look at it's about her moving you forward, and it ain't necessarily you just she's not happy with the vehicle, but she's not satisfied. Okay, we can have this. Okay, that's good. Now, are we going to keep this car, this Tesla for 20, 30, 40 years, or are we going to get something else? So I'm looking at it from that lens, that a woman in her nature, she's not necessarily satisfied. Because as men, we be straight. We can have a car. Some of us can have a car from the 90s. We can have one. Hey, Chanel, you remember
it gets deeper than that. It gets deeper than that.
Yeah, I can drive that all day.
Some women, and it's all over the podcast. A lot of different people talking about it too. Women could have the best man in the world. He paused his life. He try to make sure she's included. He try to make sure everything is good within them, and she still would make him be the problem.
Right.
So it's like it's a lose-lose situation. But if she's happy within herself, I feel like it'll be a better relationship.
Yeah, it will.
Because the whole world could turn against her, and that man will still be there beckoning her every call, but she'll still say it's something wrong. Right. Women still say it's something missing. But that's usually the broken, unhealed, unhappy with herself woman. It don't be that man. He tries to do everything. I know a lot of men who stay out the way of they women problems and stuff. They just stay out the way. They try to, hey, if you need me, I'm here. They stay out the way.
Right.
But being that they're together, he's gonna always be to blame somewhere in there, because the people who really hurt that person, the persons they are really mad at, they can't get at them.
Right.
So they take it out on the mate. Men do it too. I've seen it both ways.
Thank you. I'm like, it works both ways.
Men do that too.
Anytime you got an empty place and an empty space on the inside of you that you have not worked out, or some hurt or some pain or some grief or something, like, that's why I do what I do, people. Your favorite bullshit therapist.
Right.
You have to go to therapy and work that shit out. You have to heal those empty spaces to become whole and get down to your real true self and the pureness that the Creator created us to be. All right. And then you can have those healthy relationships.
But let me ask you this.
Spaces there, you're gonna always be seeking something. And that means I'm not satisfied with the Tesla. I want a Hellcat. And I'm not satisfied with the Hellcat. And I want something else. And I can't have enough clothes, and I can't have enough shoes, because you are filling that space with things, right? And some people fill that space with sex and people, and some people fill it with drugs, and some people fill it with work. Some people fill it with travel and social media and taking the 1,000 pictures of themselves. Like, people are always filling those spaces with stuff, and you have to heal those spaces, right? Fill them with you, with the power within,
Right. That's right.
Otherwise, the relationship is that they're not going to work, right? And I think the Black people, the divorce rate and the low marriage rates and all of that stuff, again, we come from slavery, people, and we are still suffering the
lot of trauma.
Trauma of slavery.
That's right.
And we keep bringing that generation after generation after generation after generation.
But to be honest, Chanel, the new generation, they ain't thinking about no slavery.
But it's in them though, Black. But it's in them though, Black.
It ain't in them.
It ain't in them.
What's in them is what social media is in them.
That mentality.
That ain't in them.
It's in them. That mentality is in that.
It's the mentality. It's a slave mentality.
They have a slave mentality. They have a mentality. When you get a deal with a generation of children of people. The human nature is to marry and have families. When you don't even want to have a marriage.
Okay, if it's in them, how are you saying that's in them though?
Because it's been passed down in them in the numbers of people.
I ain't never picked cotton, so picking cotton not in me.
We're not talking about cotton.
So that's not in me.
We're not talking about cotton.
Have you worked a 9 to 5?
I haven't worked a 9 to 5, but when I hear my mom them talking about how they used to pick cotton and have to get it weighed and all that stuff, I don't know that struggle. I don't know what my brothers and sisters went through.
We're not talking the physical.
So I don't feel the same pain they feel.
We're talking about the mentality of going to work and making the dollar for somebody else and you making the minimum of it. That's a slave mentality.
Okay.
That's a slave mentality. I'm gonna work and I'm gonna make $7 an hour while the people up top are gonna make all the money. Right?
But the difference I'm a logical thinker. So what I do, I apply logic. I can't expect to make what the CEO make if I'm not the CEO.
Do you have opportunity?
No, you satisfied, but you satisfied with the $7.25.
I'm gonna be satisfied with the $7.25 if that's what I could make. If that's what I'm qualified to make.
But that's what a slave
does. Is
there
an opportunity for you to be CEO? Right. Can you ever become master?
Right. Can you ever do
that? But I'm not going to be mad and angry and complaining because I got to work my way up to it.
We're not talking about that. We're just talking about the mentality of slavery. That's it. We're not talking about the emotional and all that. Just the mentality of slavery.
Right. They happy with $7.20. Some people get excited with $10 an hour. I'm making $10 an hour. And they're not trying to get any more skills. They're not trying to upgrade their skills. They said that every skill that we have that we learn have a shelf life to 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. You got to constantly upgrade your skills to do new things. They got coding now. They got and with AI, they dealing with customer service.
Right.
And they said that a lot of jobs in the customer service world gonna be taken over by AI, and that can be in danger of black people losing a whole space. Well, 15 million jobs, I believe, losing a whole space of people because they are not upgrading their skills and getting into trades, different things, plumbing, electrician, different things of that nature. So having that type of mentality, bro, can hold you back if you don't want to learn, if you don't want to upgrade.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
if you jealous.
I was talking about that. Yeah, I'm just saying that when y'all, it's like I thought it's like you trying to give them a crutch, saying that they got slavery in them.
No, it's a reality. It's the reality is that we are, even after slavery, then we had Jim Crow, and then we had all these systems that are built to hold us back. And we have to fight for that.
Guess what, Chanel? The majority of the 35 under don't know who the hell Jim Crow is.
No, they don't.
They don't have to know.
And that's why they doomed to repeat their past.
That's why they're doing what they're doing.
Right. They don't know.
They don't have to know it.
But listen though, again, we're talking systems because they don't want to teach it in school either.
No, they don't want
right.
So
like I say, so they lost to the fact. They blind to the fact.
Right. They have no clue what our past looks like.
And that's why they act the way they act.
The way they do. Exactly.
That's why they talk down on the black man that has standards and morals. That's why the good man get messed over, because he has standards and morals and he's considered boring. But then they'll go out there with the thugs and get talked down on, babies put in them, beat up, messed around on them, because you have to. Most women respect men that comes with a little drama. A lot, especially the new breed. You have to give them a little drama to let them know that they can be. A lot of times, that they can be replaced. You have to show them some type of drama. I know quite a few women move according to if they don't have drama. And I think I said this on another one. Some of them like toxic relationships. Because that's the end thing. They want that man when they cursing out.
If you come from toxicity and you are used to chaos and that is your norm, then that's what you look for.
Yeah. But a lot of them, that is not their norm. They still want to do it because that's the end thing. That's what they talk about. Because you know what is it? Megan and the baby, because I know he like a toxic bitch. So they want that toxic. You gotta come with a little drama. If it's peaceful,
so what
a lot of women, well, I ain't gonna say women, but a lot of the modern day,
an empty place with drama.
Yeah, they like that drama. You have to come with some type of drama. They don't want peace.
Yeah,
and me too. I look at a lot of people don't appreciate. And and like I said, I blame social media, but at the end of the day, it boils down to the person that you're dealing with.
Right.
But social media has it where men and women don't appreciate what they have. They don't appreciate it. They always want something else because social media is always pushing something new.
Well, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And they're seeing it. Like they say back in the day, women were about survival with their mates. Now they want lavish. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that struggle with that man. They want to already walk into the luxury.
Yeah, and then don't work.
And that's where the modern day women are at. That's why you see on here so many times he can't drive a bus.
As well, because if you don't understand that part of a relationship, you're gonna go through some things together. That's what builds bonds. That's what builds
real relationships.
That's what creates the strength going through the thing together, right?
And that's another reason why our divorce rate is up. The women are marrying guys strictly for stability.
Stability. Yeah.
The guy is already there. She didn't struggle with nothing with him. She got with him. He already had the house. He already had the car. He moved in. He got her a car.
Anything together. They ain't get nothing together.
Nothing together.
Yeah.
Right.
So the relationships I think that strive and last longer be the relationships when you go through shit together to get something. Yeah. But if she already got and I move in with her, I already got, she move in with me. And then when we grinding together, you know, I just think the grind together gets you where you get you in there longer. But a lot of the women today, because of social media, they feel like he has to already have his 6 figures before I get with you. You got to already have your almost 5,000 square feet, 5-bedroom, 4-bath crib before we get together.
Right.
You have to have all of this, and then all she brings is herself, her little education, and the job that she got, and all that is me, my, I. And so the black man is taking a beating, really, being in relationships today, compared to if he was just single with his 5,000 square foot home, his paid for vehicles, his you know, he can benefit more. But then, like y'all say, we want to be with somebody because that's how we, by nature.
Right.
You don't want to be alone.
So
then you go choose your mate. But then again, if you choose that mate and that mate is never happy and y'all just spinning the wheels,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But you don't find out. And then, like Jay like to say, and you know as a woman, and you know from the marriage you were in, things can change while in that marriage.
Yeah.
I'm saying not that you, and it ain't necessarily you cheating. It ain't necessarily you cheating. People
evolve. They grow.
Some people grow. Some people stay stagnant. And when I used to hear the white people say, we outgrew each other. I never understood that crap. I used to hear them saying, I'll be like, damn, Miss Porter and Mr. Porter, man, they broke up. They've been together 25 years, 30 years. We outgrew each other. I'm like, how the hell y'all outgrew each other and y'all got married? Y'all went to school together. Y'all married her right after high school. But what it was, he became stagnant and she wanted more. He was comfortable in the relationship and he thought that relationship was forever. But she was evolving, and when he wasn't ready to adjust or evolve with her, it was a problem.
Right.
You know, because I say, how y'all was together 25 years? Because I asked them questions. Because you know what I'm saying? They I know they used to hate to see me come around. Because I'll be sitting in there in the classroom and I'll say, y'all was together 28 years. How y'all break up after 28 years? Seems like y'all just should have made that. Well, we married young. You know, I was 16, he was 17, and we outgrew each other. How in the hell y'all grew each other and y'all was together 25 years? But then they broke it down with saying that he didn't want to elevate where she was moving up. And I was like, okay. So when you get grown, you understand those things better than what you did when you was a teenager asking those questions. And so you have to kind of, in a relationship, you have to grow together. And that's why I say, I preach, they have to be your friend. They have to be your goddamn friend first. Because if that person, your friend, you don't want to hurt your friend. You don't want to see your friend doing bad. You're not going to love, and I'm speaking, look, 10 years. You're not going to love that person every fucking day you open your eyes. It's going to be some days you look at that motherfucker and you be like, you want to pick up a pill and just, you know, and those the days. But if that's your friend,
that's right.
It's different. Because that joker right there, him and I be ready to choke him a lot of times.
All the time.
But it's the fact that he's my friend. Man. We go through that on him. You done seen him. You done seen him hang up and get off of here.
Oh yeah. No, hold
on. Let me get my shine, man. We already know. Let me get my shine. So, but after we hang up, he may be mad about 3-4 days. Back in the gap though, pre-marriage, pre-son, I was one of the most biggest assholes anybody on earth wanted to meet. If you see how Dame Dash act and used to act when he was with Jay-Z now, I was worse than him.
Chanel, hold on. Let me say that.
I was a promoter, DJ, and all that. I would walk in the hotel room and see people in there eating fruit, and I'd be like, "The hell y'all doing in here?" You know, and stuff like that. And everybody be like getting their stuff and moving out. I was the grade 8 asshole.
Yeah. So sometimes when we'll get into
I done toned it down a lot.
Listen, when we get into it, Chanel, it probably take 2 years.
Yeah, back that I was getting up to. He used to have to take 2 years off from me.
Because this Negro was
that's crazy.
I was on steroid. I was like
steroid. And so
I don't care for friends. If we didn't
all of his friends
if we didn't jail 20 years ago, I don't care for new friends.
It's a rap now.
I'll be your associate. We can be allies.
Yeah.
But I don't care for new friends. So when Drake made that song "No New Friend," man, that was my ringtone. To be honest with you,
Chanel,
that was my ringtone. I don't care for friends. Because a lot of my friends, they didn't have, a lot of new friends don't have, and they use me to get.
So yeah, I'm about to say these are people that came through the dirt with you.
They can't do the dirt with you.
When people have been through the mud with you, then you know you can trust them.
Chanel, and when we edit the 2 years, and we'll pick up the phone, and it's like we just picking up from a
nothing ever happened. And he used to have to take off. He used to have to take off. So when I got in my relationship, it was a lot of adjusting that I had to do. And it took
me cussing his ass out. Go ahead.
It took me 3 to 4 years to adjust to my mate, because I'm me. I've been independent and on my own since I left college, and I've been out, grinding, hustle, faced with adversity, and withstood it and came out, on top. So it ain't too much. I felt like nobody can tell me or contribute. So, and like I told you on a previous, I think we were one-on-one, I kept a revolving door. The same door you came in, you can go right out of. I ain't got no chains, no nothing on you, all that door. Anytime you want to leave, you can leave. That was my mentality. I didn't never think I would even get married. That wasn't a bucket list thing, none of that. I was just chilling. Like I told you, I was gonna have me a shotgun, an old dog named Blue, and my son. That was it. And I was just gonna be chilling. Every now and then I come out on the porch and look at it and hear the birds. And then when the sun go down, I see a few bats, and I'm good. Every now and then I shoot at a blackbird. That what I was gonna do. And tell Blue to go get the blackbird. And because I love myself. I didn't need nobody to complete me, because I was already set. Women gonna cheat, women gonna lie, women gonna steal. They gonna be who they are. So to keep me from being disappointed, I just wanted to be by myself, because I'm not gonna disappoint myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I didn't care for none of that.
That can take care of some of the other population who did get their stuff together, who do get their therapy, who do get their healing, and recognize I can't trust the people around me because I can only trust myself, so I'm not getting married. That might be another part of that population.
Right.
And because and it's a lot of men saying that now.
Yeah.
There are podcasts where men are actually saying, married for what? Don't get married. Run from marriage because of that. I can be by myself.
And just
women gonna cheat, they gonna lie, they gonna steal. So before I go through all that hell, I'd rather be by myself and just go over here, get a little sex every now and then over there, a little sex every now and then. Hey, put a little John to sleep. I'm coming over tonight. Get your little sex right there. So that's where, but with the women with the mentality and the baggage that they have today, that's where it's coming to.
Right.
I mean, because they down in the black man now. And if he speak up and try to say, I don't think you need to do this. I don't think you need to dress that way. I don't think you need to talk this way in public. You can't tell me what to say. You can't tell me what to do. I'm my own person. Why is it your business?
But some of that, but look, so I think that some of that, when I said before about how the approach is, and I think somebody mentioned earlier, the patience that it takes and all that. And so if I haven't had a good man in my life, father, uncle, whatever, right? And I don't know how to talk to them, and I don't know how to relate to them, and I don't know how to receive from them, then even that correction has to come a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And all that, because like, for example, me and the ex got into it. I called Boo and I was fussing about it. He let me vent it out, and then he said, "Can I tell you where you went wrong in that?" Right? And so there was permission there, right? And he's like, "You sure? You sure? You sure it's okay? Because I don't want you cussing me out, and I don't want you to tell me I can't get none."
You know what?
And so I'm like, okay, yeah, tell me where I went wrong. And it was hard to swallow, right? It was hard for me to receive that. It's okay, all right, I should have did that, and I should have did that. Okay, all right. He's like, "You all right?"
But Chanel, that's the thing, that with the patient,
who I am and how I am, he knows what my issues are.
Right.
He knows I'm independent. He knows 95% of the time I like to be right, and stuff like that. And so,
but see, now I understand when it comes to relationships, and he always say I don't count because I was kind of privileged when it came to getting women, and he say that don't count. I'm saying you don't count.
It don't count.
Because you know how you respect your mate. You respect your mate. You'll listen. So you listen.
Because I'm
and he asked you nicely.
I didn't used to listen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what made you start listening now?
I apologize for my behavior, right?
Yeah.
And I say, I'm sorry I didn't let you vent, and I'm sorry that I yelled at you, right? I didn't apologize for things I wasn't sorry for, but I called him and apologized, right?
Yeah.
That would not have been me years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't say I was sorry.
Right.
So what brought on the change? Is it the mate, or was it growth? I mean, what brought on the change?
It's a matter of it was a lot of growth. It's a lot of therapy. It's a lot of working on my own shit. It's me learning to forgive my mama and dealing with my mama issues. It's me dealing with my daddy issues. It's me taking that time in therapy to work on my shit.
All right. Right. Now that you said that, because I get
to work on my shit, and so I had to hold.
Now that you said that, right? How much of what all that you saying you working on now contributed to that marriage not working the way it should have worked?
A lot.
Okay. But the fact like I say, you don't count because you're holding yourself accountable. Majority of women don't want to be accountable.
That's why I speak publicly about it. That's why I tell my business like I do, because women and men, right, have to recognize what fault they play. It ain't never one person's game.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah. It's always both sides. And your trauma is usually conflicting with the other person's trauma, right? And stuff. They didn't get what they needed, and you didn't get what you needed, and those things are conflicting, and y'all don't know how to deal with that. Go to therapy. Go to individual therapy. Go to couples therapy. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to identify each other's triggers. Learn how to, be gentle without walking on eggshells, because that's bullshit too. If you got to walk on eggshells, that's not conducive to a good marriage. Being patient is one thing. Walking on eggshells is something totally different.
Right.
And stuff like that. But everybody got to be working on our stuff, right? And when I started going to therapy while I was still married, and and at that time I was becoming a therapist, right? And I knew I had stuff. Going to school for therapy teaches you how much stuff you got, and all that. And so while I'm going to therapy, and my therapist is like, "Man, a lot of your stuff you're talking about have to do with your marriage. Can you get your husband in here?" Well, I'll try, But both parties have to be willing, right? And I truly believe if he would have been willing to truly come to therapy and work on his things, like we've been divorced since 2015, I think. You know, and stuff. And now he's like, you know, trying to work on himself. He still ain't ready to go to therapy yet. You know, but he's found some places where he can like plug himself in and deal with his things, and he's not angry like he used to be. And even today we talked about his grandmother, you know, being colorist. Like that's a big part of his life, right? If your grandmama don't like you because you dark, you know what I'm saying? But your brother light skin, and you know, he's the favorite, you know what I'm saying? And so those things affect you, right? And then his mama's dark skin. So I was like, man, how did that affect your mama? If your grandma was colorist, she treated her like shit too, didn't she? You know, and so dealing with all of that stuff, you know, and so all of that has to be worked on because there's a little boy in him that hasn't healed. That needs to heal in order for him.
So it's safe to say people just need to, before you get into a serious per se relationship, you need to have some type of I guess understanding of yourself and where you came from.
Absolutely.
You got to heal somewhat. You got to get to a healing space where you're able, like right now with your new boo, you were at a healing space where you were able to move forward. You get what I'm saying? And so now that you made it to that healing space, you let a lot of stuff go, but you'll never be 100%. But you let a whole lot of things go that made it comfortable for you to proceed with him. So now that you're proceeding with him and he understands you, as you continue to learn and accept yourself and try to let go of your past and the things that troubled you back in the day, you're able to move forward with him. Because he understands where you came from and what you're trying to do, and it's a communication and an understanding thing that y'all have.
He got stuff too. You know what I'm saying? You know, and when we first met, he hadn't been dealing with those things or whatever. You know, and so we've had some rifts in between that too. And so and now he's in therapy, and he's been in therapy before. He got back in therapy, and so he's going to therapy and working on his stuff on a regular basis and all that. And that's how we're able to, and we're honest. Like that's our policy is honesty and all that.
That's real.
How I feel, we're going to talk about it, you know, which is why when he said, can I tell you where you went wrong? You know, I'm like, don't give it to me. You know, because
you're willing to listen. A lot of women, when you say, can I tell you, they're going to cut you off because they feel like
to be wrong. Nobody
they feel that, and then they feel like you don't know him. You don't know your ex. He don't know your ex like you know your ex. So they'll be like, well, what I'm listening to you for, you don't know him. You don't know the hell I went through with him and blah, blah, blah.
I do know he a man. He a black man. He a black man.
Hey, Chanel, and just to add on, dealing with the trauma, because I know in the Nation of Islam, we're dealing with a technology from L. Ron Hubbard, Dianetics. We've probably seen this book. We've probably seen this book. I can't. Let me see.
It's hard with the background.
Right here. This book deals with a lot of terminology like engrams. It deals with, and that's trauma. It deals with the science of Dianetics by reaching. It's like therapy, but you deal with individuals that you speaking to, that you can take the charge off those experiences. So when you smell something, you feel something, you hear something, and it trigger you, Dianetics help take the charge off. So even with death, you can have a certain song come on that remind you of your mom.
That remind you of the person, or
so
sensory
and
things.
You start crying. So, but through Dianetics, what it does, it helps you compartmentalize that thought. So it's a happy thought instead of a sad thought. So when you hear that song again, you're able to celebrate with that song instead of crying.
I love that.
And this technology that we have in the nation of auditing. It's like therapy. But
send me a picture of that in Messenger so I can
I am. And you know, the technology it's a branch of Scientology, but we just deal with the Dianetic part.
You take out what you need.
Because we had a lot of sisters, you deal with a lot of black women that's been molested. some of the trauma they done had, difficulties in their marriage because some of them don't want to have sex with their husband.
Yeah, because it reminds them of the initial incident.
Because being molested. So
right. But they have to change have to change those neural pathways in their brain.
Right.
So that they can understand this is a different experience.
And what happened, so because when I've gone through some things, I know that I needed some help, and you gotta continuously get more audited. There's some things that I found somebody that's an auditor, but things that can help you. But I'm gonna get you the information, and I'm gonna send it to you and kind of think it ain't nothing spooky. It ain't nothing that's going, like they're trying to advertise.
I'm not scared of spooky stuff. I'm not scared of spooky stuff.
Yeah, so,
she's from New Orleans. That's named Warnell.
So this is very powerful technology. Yeah, this is very powerful technology. That people.
She's from the nine.
On mine dime.
Black. We gonna
land the plane.
Yeah, we finna hit this runway.
Word.
So we
but communication, man, it's communication, and both got to be willing to open up. That's the deal. That's the key, I think, to staying in a marriage is communication. And just cause you talking, that don't mean communication is being is taking place. You have to be communicating means listening. You know what I'm saying? Not listening to respond, but listening to understand.
Right.
And a lot of us don't listen to understand. We listen to respond.
Right.
And then it's that's where the phrase in one ear out the other, because you're not listening. You still stuck on what you want, how you feel.
That's right.
At the end of the day, it's like, I hear what he's saying, but I'm gonna do this,
Yeah.
You gotta listen. You gotta open up. If it's something you're trying to say, you gotta open up and be held accountable.
Right.
Me, if I know I got messed up ways up, I know I had a bad childhood, and I got this woman here that's trying to be there for me every which way she can. At my beck and call, trying to make it easy. And I'm still angry. I'm still mad. I wouldn't do a person, like that. I may just tell her that I'm dealing with something and I'm trying to deal with it. I'm still going to show her I appreciate her. Right. But a lot of people don't do that in relationships.
Right.
They get caught up.
Black, you have to be conscious of it. You can only tell them if you're conscious of it. Most of these people are completely unconscious and subconscious of all of those things that they're dealing with and going through and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that makes it hard.
People are coming to me when things are falling apart and they can't figure them out.
Right.
And then I have to help them to navigate that thing and be like, oh, well, this is because this, and it sounds like you was disrespectful, and it's probably because your mama was talking to you. Like, I have to piece it together for them and help them understand where it comes from, and then we can fix it.
That's right.
So they have to identify their problem and be willing to work, willing to change. Yeah. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people like feeling sad. Some people like being miserable.
They're comfortable in it.
They're comfortable with it.
Right.
And then they blame everybody around them instead of saying, let me look at myself. That's why Michael Jackson made that song. The Man in the Mirror.
Then have you tell me I'm on fire. I'm just going to burn the whole house down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
That's real. Black, I'm gonna show this. This is Chanel. This is what it looks like.
You.
This is. I send it to your email. I mean to your inbox. But this is what it looked like. Is L. Ron Hubbard
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
they
have. You can go to the Scientology site as well. They got courses on. It's a lot of courses. I'm gonna let you kind of thumb through that because that's your expertise in mental health. So
I'm trying to from all angles, baby, all angles.
So that's what that is.
What's your closing words, Chanel? What's the key to trying to keep these?
My key is always gonna be communication.
That's it.
Accountability, because I'm high accountability and no bullshit. But in order to get rid of the bullshit, like you got to identify that you have it.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
And so
That's
if
right.
things in your life, in your marriage, in your relationships, and not just marriage relationships, any relationship, you know, because usually if your marriage relationship ain't right, your friendships probably ain't right, and your relationships with your kids probably ain't right. Like, you know, then a lot of things are falling apart around you, which means your relationship with you ain't right, right? And
Right.
so then that's when people start to seek out. I don't know what's wrong, but something is wrong because things are not right around me, you
Right.
know, and they recognize I'm the common denominator. You know,
Right.
I'm the
Right.
one that's the same in all this stuff. You know,
That's
and
right.
when you can recognize that, then you can seek that help, right? I'm always recommend people go to therapy because I know it works, right?
Yeah.
You just got to find the right connection and the right person to work with you and all that. I also recognize everybody not like me because, like you said, I'm the exception for a lot of things, right? And I'm also the exception for a lot of times in therapy, right? Because I do go off the grid and I do things different and all that stuff. I do not follow every guideline because it don't work for Black folks, and that's who I'm working with. It don't work for minorities, that's who I'm working with, and all that. So I'm gonna tweak it. Everybody may not be willing to do that, but I'm called to do that, so I'm gonna do it, right? But the key is to be able to identify, and that's why I come here. That's why I do the things publicly, so you can. These are the things that need to be done. You need to identify where your holes are. Right? Everybody got those holes. Find those holes or come to somebody like me that can help you figure out those holes so we can heal that stuff and heal those inner child in you so that you can know who you are and then meet somebody else who hopefully is doing the same thing. And then maybe we can get the marriage rates back up. And maybe we'll want to have children again that won't destroy the world, you know, and stuff that won't love living in chaos and all that kind of stuff. But it takes for us to get to know ourselves so that we can develop those relationships with others and all that. The earlier you get it done, the better, because, you know, had I not had children up to this point, I'm getting healed now, but I'm past childbearing age. You know what I'm saying? So the boat would have sailed and all that. So even in what I was in, I had kids, I adopted kids, you know, and all that good stuff. So I still procreated. That's great, you know. But I just think that, you know, we can heal that part and get those relationships back online and get them back going and heal the Black community if we first search within and figure out what's going on with us. You know,
That's what's up.
Get yourself a therapist, preferably a Black one if you're Black.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And Brizzle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Man,
I just want to thank for the panel tonight. I really enjoyed myself. My screen out here, that's why I'm looking. If I'm looking towards there, I'm looking at my other screen. But and then I'm pulling information down. So
yeah.
I just want to, you know, thank everybody that came out. Want to thank Lotus. Want to thank
Mark Moore,
my cousin Mark Moore, my cousin Cashmere. Love you too, Kinfolk. Tommaso. We want to thank Trinkets Are Us. One thing we want to thank. Oh, and my mom just called, said she seen this on live. So my mother just called. So I want to thank the woman that brought me into this world. But I
also want to make sure I mention that I got my award for the best Black therapist in Austin 2022.
Yes.
That's what's up. Oh, you real? She real with it.
She in there.
I'm gonna have to start sending people your way.
Yeah, she in there.
What I'm saying?
So we just
I'm
want
on
to
the
thank
game, dog.
everybody for that. Yeah,
that's real.
We moving, and people are checking the podcast out there in the dark. They behind the curtain. They peeking in between the curtain with one eye.
Fine, as long as they listening.
Long as they're listening. So we had a good time tonight, and you know, hopefully I could take these Jews when I do get married, and know what it's like.
I'm gonna make sure you straight when you get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, he gonna sit in quite a few sessions.
So Chanel. So we got a little singles social thing that we have in the nation, and I've been going to it for the last couple of weeks. So we have something for the single believers in the nation. So I've been going to it to kind of check things out, you know. And that's been a big step for me because
I'm proud of you,
you
bro.
know, Black will tell you I didn't go and do nothing try to integrate, but you know,
he gonna be speaking with you more one-on-one, Chanel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
when he, you know, y'all probably gonna exchange numbers, but he gonna be talking to you more.
Yeah.
Because I told him, you know, that you need to reach out to my partner.
Yeah. And check out that site as well, Chanel, that I sent you.
Okay.
Dealing with the information in the Scientology. That's gonna be some tools. You're probably gonna you can get certifications in them, and you can take what you know and add that into it's nothing but a tool. It's nothing but a tool.
That's what I do with everything. I'm integrative.
And it integrated.
Oh, she know how to
pull
sit
from
through
everywhere. And then I tweak it for
certified auditor. Yeah, because we got a few auditors in the nation. So you'll be a certified auditor. You really can help people deal with trauma and taking that charge off what happened to them in their life so they can function. So but yeah. Black, go ahead, Captain.
Now we already capped it. We out. The Nuggets won tonight.
So what y'all thinking on what you thinking, man? What you think they
Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5. If they don't sweep them, it's gonna be Nuggets in 5. But they may let them win 1 when they play at home.
I hear you.
Yeah. But we out. Appreciate you, Chanel.
Of course.
We out to next week. It'll be interesting next week too. Hopefully we don't have no tragedies, because the last 2 weeks, actually the last 3 weeks have been 3 or 4. Last month, May was a hard month. May was a hard month.
Yeah. So
even you went through things in April and May. So hopefully June will bring us you know, a better month, better season. So until next week, we out, and appreciate everybody that's checking us out. Speak on their podcast. They talking about it, so we might as well speak on it. We out.
Peace.